get to do today. Oh, that's gonna be fun.
It is going to be a fun day.
Ah!
Cross the ocean to Chult.
Wow, everyone has arrived.
Welcome, everyone, to the new arc of the campaign, Tomb of Annihilation. Today we will journey across the seas to the distant land of Chult and discover some of what dangers await us there. How is everyone today?
Yeah,
Yeah, awake. That's better than nothing. We should jump.
I missed my marsh stomp.
My chicken is
Me
gone.
too. We
You
shall.
know what that means.
Oh, new chicken
What?
done.
We
What?
shall jump right in.
The chicken god is gone from the bottom of the screen.
Ah, he's gone. Yeah, time to draw a new one. Yes.
Yay!
Because I changed the art, so yes, he's gone. So go ahead, draw another one.
Loving the new art, by the way.
Yes.
Ah.
So, it's been a busy but quite uneventful time for you guys over the last few months. Winter has come to Waterdeep, come and gone actually, off screen, as spring is now returning, and you spent most of winter celebrating and living it up as certified heroes of Waterdeep, renowned across the city as the ones who located the Stone of Galore, broke into the Vault of the Dragons, and raced all comers and beat them to the ultimate prize, 500,000 gold coins, which you handed over to the Lord's Alliance so that they may pay it forward to the citizens of Waterdeep, improving the infrastructure of the city and altogether ensuring that Waterdeep remains strong for many years to come. In between your raucous celebrations, signing autographs for random passers-by, and your normal work serving people in Trollskull Manor, which seems to have had quite the uptick in business. One, due to the fact that most places of business are closed during the winter, and two, everyone seems to want to buy a drink or purchase or eat a nice home-cooked meal at the tavern run by Queen Bobbit and her Queen's Guard, the heroes of Waterdeep. You've also had a chance to do a couple of other things in the scant bit of downtime you've had in between living it up like kings and queens. And so we shall start with Bobbit, Queen Bobbit, or Alessander. What have you done over the winter?
Well, Bobbert has actually decided that if this lovely tavern is going to be a quote-unquote embassy of the most definitely legal and most definitely existing land of Scotland, or Sconeland, or Scoutland, whichever one you prefer, because it seems to change on a weekly basis depending on where we are and who we're talking to, then the tavern should definitely reflect that. So she's actually used some of her pull to get people to come in and during the quieter seasons try and finally upgrade the tavern to its proper glory.
So that will cost you 1,000 GP to commission this work.
Oh no. Anyway.
And so, you purchase for 500 GP additional renovations. You commission additions such as building repairs and extra amenities to the building, and you will gain a permanent plus 10 bonus on income checks. You also purchase, for 250 GP, interior decorating. You purchase decorations and higher quality furniture to make Trollskull Alley more welcoming. You'll gain a plus 5 permanent bonus to income checks. And finally, for 250 GP, you hire some extra staff. You hire and train additional staff to make the day-to-day running of Trollskull Alley much smoother. You will gain a permanent plus 5 bonus on income checks, granting you altogether a permanent plus 20 on your income checks.
Very nice. Would like to point out, just as a small flavor thing, You go inside the like newly upgraded and decorated. Above the, I suppose it's a trapdoor leading down to the cellar where Bobbit stays. There's a very small plaque directly above it saying "Official Embassy of Sconeland" underneath.
It says it's a plaque, and it says Official Embassy and Consulate of Sconeland, and then underneath that it says Scootland, and then underneath that it says Scoutland, and then under that it says Scotland. So you've made sure to account for
Cover
all
all
four
bases.
possible interpretations of the word that you've
Yes.
heard so far.
And
So- Yep.
Oh, I was going to say, and just one other thing to throw in there. While all this has been going on, Bobbit does take, obviously, some time to reflect on all the fun things she's learned recently, and to look back at that particular set of pan flutes that she has been umming and ahhing over, and decides to try and fix them to see if that what comes of that. Since everything else that she seems to ask about at the moment leads to just more questions. What's one more?
So you want to play it, or
Well, obviously cast mending to fix it first, and then, we'll try and see if it does anything.
So first of all, despite the fact that it's winter and most business at Waterdeep is closed, when you start waving around 1,000 gold coins of Oranax's hoard, given that it's coming from Queen Bobbit, one of the newly minted heroes, you soon find more tradesmen than you thought ever existed in Waterdeep, suddenly extremely eager to conduct the work on Trollskull Manor. And in fact, Lady Silverhand from the Lord's Alliance even sends a few Lord's Alliance operatives to supervise the work as it is completed, knowing that this will be an official embassy of Sconeland, and as such, an official Lord's Alliance consulate. They wanted to make sure the work is done properly. This leaves Bobbit with enough spare time to spend a few days in her bedroom in the cellar, casting mending on her pan flute and pondering it, trying to remember how to play it. And one night, as you're sitting there, holding the pan flute in your fingers, looking at it, suddenly it seems to just spring into existence in your head, the forgotten knowledge of how to play it. Like riding a bicycle, you place the pan flute to your lips, and suddenly, as if you've always known, you know how to play it. Please make a performance check.
Boy, I had to do one of these. Where are we at with performance? That'll work. Oh, wow, that's a nat 20 off the bat for the day. Wow, that's going to be my good luck out the window. Thank you. So 24 all up.
And so, Bobbit, you place the pan flute to your lips and begin to blow through it, and as soon as you hear the woodwind tones emanate through your bedroom, it all comes back to you. It's like you've never forgotten how to play, even though you can't remember the last time you played. In fact, you cannot even remember where you obtained this pan flute, other than that it was from your life before you began adventuring. You play this flute as if the last time you played was yesterday, as if you have a lifetime of education and performance behind you, and you lose yourself for a couple of hours in the quiet and soothing tones. And as you play, you rack your mind trying to call forth anything that the music might dredge up. I'd like you to make an intelligence check, please, with advantage as you pass your performance check.
That's going to be a 16.
Rack your brain, trying to remember as far back as you can, to delve into that black, meaningless void from before you met the party that day in the yawning portal. And as the music plays, something comes to mind. At first, nothing more than a fleeting vision, ill-defined shapes swimming in your mind, but then it comes up further and begins to materialize, the shapes solidifying, and you find yourself standing in front of the huge stone gates of Mesro, about to step through them into the jungle that lies beyond. Beside you stands the olive-skinned, golden-haired woman who, from your last memory, you know to be named Messica. She's standing beside you, her arm on your right shoulder, her face looking down into your eyes, a smile written on her own face. As you look around, you find yourself surrounded by throngs of people, mostly tabaxi, although you could see some brown and olive-skinned humans mixed in amongst them, wearing coloured robes of all shades of the rainbow, wearing hoods over their heads to block out the hot, tropical jungle sun. And as they gather around you, they seem to be cheering your name. Alessander! 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 You smile at them, and then you hear a great rumble as the stone gates are pulled open by a legion of soldiers wearing leather armor and brandishing ivory clubs. And as the gate opens, on the other side, where you expect to see the thick jungles of Chult, instead you see a swirling void of incandescent purple energy stretching off as far as the eye could see, seemingly having consumed all existence. Messica looks down at you. She nods, smiles, and she says, "Lady Alessander, our quest begins." And she leads you both into the swirling ether. You are back in your bedroom, finishing the song you played on your pan flute. You blow a few more tones, and then the sweet, soothing music fades away, leaving you to reflect on the memory you just dredged up.
Hooray, more questions!
More questions than answers.
Is there anything
Yeah.
else you would like to do in your downtime, Bobbit?
You said most of the stores were closed at the moment, if I remember, or most
That
of the
is
businesses
correct.
were gone.
That is correct.
Which,
So you'll have to
Oh,
wait
cool.
You'll have to wait to collect your funds from the pawn shop.
that's fine. I'm not in a rush on that one. So if I can't really, purchase anything at the moment, shopping wise, then no, I'm pretty sure I've got nothing else to work with at the moment.
Sure, we shall move over to Bulb. Bulb, the winter is not a time that you particularly enjoy, knowing that it chills most plants to the core and often steals away with their lives. But you've tried to keep yourself busy in this time. What have you been doing?
Well, first of all, I spend one day asking Bobbit and Ava if they have any questions for the Stone of Galore.
Oh
Very
shit,
well.
didn't even think of that.
Damn. That would have been a good thing to have thought of.
Yeah, could have used some prep.
Yeah, thanks, Chief.
Well, I did tell you that I was going to use it, and I only
Oh,
thought today.
Yeah,
I oh wait, or did you?
I was telling M2.
Yeah,
I didn't know
You didn't
that, 'cause
tell me?
I only thought today that I might ask you guys.
Oh,
yeah, I knew you said you were going to ask it questions. You never said, I want you guys to ask it questions.
the audacity.
Well, I have 2 questions for one day, and considering we have months, I feel like we can probably ask it a few questions.
You
more than
sure
3.
can. You sure
We
can.
need to. Well, I have my first question is reading through the books that I have, I come across the concept of woodwords.
Yes.
I asked
Yeah,
Stone
you
of Galore about woodwords.
And so, the Stone of Galore ums and ahs for a moment as it thinks, and then seems to sigh approvingly. It says, woodwords. Yes. Guardian plants, if I'm not mistaken. Each woodword contains the soul of a creature that willingly or otherwise gave up its life in order to eternally perform a given duty. Usually, for you druid types, to serve as guardians of nature. The ritual that creates a wood toad consists of removing the heart of a living person, planting a seed into the remaining cavity, and then placing it into the cavity of a tree. The sacrificed creature's body is then buried in the vicinity, and the tree bathed with the sacrifice's blood. After 3 days, a woodwode will sprout from the ground, ready to receive its orders. I believe most civilized folk consider the act of creating one to be rather immoral. He says, but don't let me tell you what's immoral and what's not. And you hear the voice in the Stone of Galore just snigger to itself.
Okay.
Damn.
Interesting.
I was gonna say, that's dark, but damn, that's metal as fuck.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. What is it more metal than ripping out a guy's heart, shoving a seed in it, and letting him rot in a tree and bathe in his own blood for 3 days? That's... Damn. I'm pretty sure there's a song in Finland about that.
There
Several,
probably is.
depending on the band.
Probably.
Depending on the bands over there, several.
Fair enough. I have a second question
Yep.
to ask it for myself. I would like to ask it about my kobold clan.
Your kobold clan, yes. What would you like to ask it?
Its history.
Its history? Very well.
Put him on the spot like this.
It thinks for a moment, and no, I know where they are, I just have to find what I wrote down.
I was gonna say, you're just putting everyone on the spot today, man.
Yep.
How dare.
Right,
Once again, the audacity.
there we go.
The indignation.
The Flameheart clan of kobolds, who live within the abandoned Wormheart mine of Chult, once the heart of a burgeoning empire of Chultan dwarves. Today, the empire of albino dwarves is reduced to a mere shadow of its former self, living rough in the jungles, occasionally venturing into the sparse settlements of Chult to trade. It is the kobolds of the Flameheart clan who now administer to the day-to-day running of Wormheart Mine, toiling day after day to extract priceless ores from the earth, working to maintain the glory of the great red worm that governs them.
Oh,
Oh, interesting. Good to know a bit more about my
Peeps.
people.
You do
I guess.
remember that last time you were with them, they were going to make an expedition into the abandoned Wormheart mine, and you do remember whispers of the great red worm, and that this expedition was supposed to be to find a new place for the great red worm to build his hoard. But you never met this worm, and you left the clan before this came to pass.
Interesting.
Is there
So does that
anything
make
else?
my name? Does that make my name Bulbasaur Flameheart?
Yes, if you would like to adopt
Right.
the name of your kobold clan.
Oh, just everyone's adopted names at the moment.
Anything
and
else you would like to ask of the Stone of Galore?
I do not have any questions to ask of Legend Lore. However, I do just have a generic question to ask to the entity. And oh wait, no, I don't. Not yet, because I don't know what's happening in the future. Don't worry.
Yeah, very well.
Yeah, I jumped the gun a little bit there.
Cease thy metagaming lips, Hal.
So, what else would Bulb like to do over the winter?
Okay, well, if the others don't have any questions, did they think of
Not
any?
seem
or-
to.
No.
Well-
No, we already asked questions about my group last time, so...
Yeah,
I mean,
there doesn't
I'm
seem
ready
to be
go.
anything other you can ask except for what was the swirling purple void, but it probably
I'm-
wouldn't know.
I could probably get something on my back going, yeah, what? Child.
Well, Bulb doesn't have any intention of giving up the stone yet, so we have plenty of time in the future.
Yep.
In that case, then Bulb is going to spend some of his time searching out a bag of holding
Yes.
to acquire, preferably through purchasing.
Yes, we know you'd like to do that. So,
Yeah.
let me see. Buying a magic item. I would like you to please make. So it depends on how you'd like to go about this. If you'd like to ask around, see who knows, that will be a persuasion check. Otherwise, if you would like to, say, use the Emerald Enclave's channels, that would be an investigation check.
Well, seeing as my other thing is to go to the Emerald Enclave, I may as well do an investigation, because that's also a +2 instead of a -1.
It is.
Oh,
So, an investigation check.
Should have better charisma. You're a cute and cuddly elf folk.
And you are looking for at least a 15 to find an uncommon item for sale.
Oof.
That's a 7.
Would you have inspiration?
I do from last session. Woo!
Yes.
Hey!
You may go ahead and roll your inspiration.
Does 9 give me any leads at all?
Okay, well. So the prospect of asking around in the streets and trying to chase down a seller of magical items is something that you know is out of your range of expertise. You're not that good at talking to people, so instead you inquire into the Emerald Enclave's channels and browse the sellers that they use to acquire some of their more exotic supplies. And this process takes about a 10-day as you investigate each of the buyers, try to make contact with them, ask them if this is the type of item that they would ordinarily carry and whether they'd be able to acquire it. And you eventually do manage to find one seller who usually peddles magic druidic items, who claims that although it's outside of their normal specialty, they will be able to acquire a bag of holding for you, but due to the fact that it is outside of their normal realm of expertise, they will be asking for a much higher price, and they will be asking for 1,500 gold.
How much, sorry?
1,500 gold, which is significantly more expensive than usual.
Bulb doesn't know the value of gold, so yeah, Bulb will go along with that, yep.
Very well. Sure enough, you hand over the gold, placing your trust in this person who's been vetted by the Enclave, and another 10-day later, a small parcel wrapped in brown baker's paper is left on the doorstep of Trollskull Manor with just the word Bulb written on it. And you bring it inside, cut the strings and remove the brown paper and find within a sort of slightly battered looking bag of holding that, but upon close inspection, seems to be in fine working order.
Okay. Good.
Does it have anything left? Does it have anything left inside?
Unfortunately, not.
It seems secondhand. I was going to say random. I was hoping for like random junk to just fall out of it because it's secondhand, clearly.
Well, make an investigate. Make a perception check, please, Bulb.
Oh, that's a 22.
Realizing that the bag
Where could that have rolled been?
Realizing that the bag is obviously second-hand, you take it up to your impromptu workshop/greenhouse in the attic and open it up and begin to take a look inside, turning it upside down to see if any items pop out. And to your perhaps horror, something does pop out, and it appears to be a very scuffed human bone covered in scorch marks.
Huh. Neat.
Peering inside the bag, you were perhaps slightly more concerned to find the inside of the bag's rim stained with a small splotch of what appears to be quite old blood.
Interesting. I then spend a day cleaning out this bag.
I mean, you could have just asked Bobbert to cast Prestidigitation to just clean it instantly, but that works too.
You give the bag some tender loving care, and it is spick and span, good as brand new by the next night. Is there anything else you'd like to do in your downtime?
The second thing I would like to do is go to the Onward Enclave and talk to Melinar.
Yes. So, making sure you have your new bag of holding strapped underneath your cloak, you head over to the gardens of Falconreath Manor, where Melinar usually can be found, and you find the gardens to be almost abandoned during the winter. Most of the trees lifeless, no leaves. Most of them naught but branches. And you eventually find Melinar attending to one of the evergreens, pruning some overgrowth from its trunk. He salutes you as you come along, and he says, "Ah, Bulb!" And then he holds up a pair of shears, and you notice that these shears seem to be much higher quality than the ones you've seen him use before, and the bluish glowing metal for the blade suggests to you that these are mithril shears.
Ooh.
He says, "Thank you to your contribution, I now have these, and my work is going along far more smoothly than usual."
I am glad that we could help, Master.
He thanks you once again by using the mithril shears to just snip off an entire branch of the evergreen in one quick, low-effort cut. And then he turns to you, bows once again, and says, What services do you require today, Bulb?"
Early on, when we were first introduced to each other, do you recall how when we completed the issue with the scarecrows rampaging through the farms, you infused my staff with a certain wood?
Yes. I do indeed remember the Fernian Ash.
Yes, that was it. I was wondering if you could perhaps teach me the ritual to infuse my staff with different attributes as I find other magical things.
Melinar smiles and he places his shears on the ground before him, and then he beckons you to kneel on your knees as he himself kneels. And he says, "Well, I was wondering when you would ask. You have done many a great service for the Enclave, young Bulb, and it is the least I could do to pass this knowledge onto one as precocious as yourself." He says, "Please, it may take several days, and, depending on your aptitude, you may fail to grasp it at first, but if anyone can master this ritual, I believe you can.
Well,
One whose
to get me
heart..."
away from the crowds, I'll happily spend a couple of days here learning.
He smiles and he says, he nods, he says, "One whose heart is as attuned to Mother Nature as you are will surely be able to at least make some progress. I would like you, please, to make an Arcana check."
Arcana is a 16.
As Melinar predicted, you seem to take to this not often known ritual like a natural, and it only requires 3 or 4 days in deep contemplation with him, meditating in the cold, wintry gardens, and clearing your mind of worldly matters as you simply soak in the nature around you to learn how to conduct the ritual. Melinar congratulates you, smiling and telling you that he could tell right away, as soon as you first met, that you were destined for great things within the Enclave, and he shall be watching your further adventures with great interest. Before you leave, he cautions you. He says, "What I have taught you is knowledge that many druids would kill to have, and I mean that in a literal sense. The knowledge I have taught you is knowledge that is often not passed along, knowledge that would be used by those with less than pure hearts for terrible things. And so I caution you, Bulb, be very careful what you use this ritual for, and ensure that whatever your purpose, it is for the protection and the service of nature, nothing other. Do you have my word, young Bulb? Do I have your word, young Bulb?"
Bulb becomes very serious and solemn and goes, "You have my word, Melinar. Only for the protection and defense of nature shall I use this ritual."
He smiles, and then picking up his mithril shears, goes back to trimming the same evergreen that he was working on when you arrived for training. And he says, "Good. I shall be watching your career with great interest." He says, something tells me that Mother Nature will carry you far from here. If so, know that it was a pleasure working with you, young Bulb."
And a pleasure of you, Master.
And with that, we complete Bulb's downtime, and we move to Ava. Ava, what would you like to do over winter?
Oh, one last quick thing.
Yes,
I give Ava my wolf spider venom gland and my Chult tentacle.
Yes.
Ooh.
Lovely.
Oh.
So with those in hand,
let me
Ava.
write that down.
Yep.
So with those in hand, Ava, what would you like to do over the winter?
Well, I would hope I would just a sec, I need to move my mic.
Mm-hmm.
I would think I would have spent some time with the dragon,
Yes, you would
chilling.
spent some time with Oranax, helping him to at least rebuild some of his hoard. In fact, I would like you to please roll an investigation check.
I can do that.
Ava and a scaly boy just chilling in a vault. Good times.
Okay, what's my investigation? Alright, so that is 18.
So you actually spend the majority of winter away from Trollskull Manor in the Vault of the Dragon with the Gold Dragon Oranax, helping him launch a series of salvage expeditions into the surrounding sewer network to acquire any shinies that may have been discarded there. And after a couple 10 days of work, the two of you managed to build a quite sizable hoard. It's nothing like what he had previously, but considering it's just shinies you liberated from the sewers that have been forgotten and lost by the citizens of Waterdeep, it's a very good start, and Oranax appreciates your work. In fact, he's so appreciative that he provides you with what appears to be a large ivory horn tipped with a gold edge. And he tells you, young Ava, if ever you find yourself in need of assistance, blow into the horn, and one time I shall answer, and its magic shall draw me to you.
That's awesome.
Damn.
And it's got... I'm sorry, this is metagaming, but it's gone to someone who might actually use it for a good thing.
Oh, yeah, we're not doing that shit. Oh, yeah,
I made friends with the dragon.
Yeah, go you. That's it. You just chill. Yeah, you and him just chilling over some shiny stuff in a vault. Damn, I should have had Bobbit take friggin' Keeper to go and meet him.
What else would you like to do over your downtime?
Well, you know, I've always got to take care of everybody.
Make your potions, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm guessing I would have gone shopping for some resources.
Most of the shops are closed, so unfortunately, you'll have to scavenge for yourself. Yeah. So please make either a survival or a nature check, but it will be done with disadvantage because it is winter and there's not a whole lot growing, unfortunately.
I'll do survival because that is higher. Alright, that is 13.
13.
Not great.
You leave the city of Waterdeep and head out to the outlying farms and brave the snowy winds, doing your best to scavenge any herbs or just anything you can find growing that hasn't been choked to death by the thick snow and the bitter cold. You're surprised to find that you do manage to gather a reasonable amount of ingredients. Nowhere near as much as you normally would, but some of the ingredients that you've taken to using appear to be rather hardy specimens and stand strong even in the winter. And so, if you'd like to make a herbalism kit check, you may make it, not with advantage, but you may get a +3 to the roll.
Okay. Oh, I got a nat 20.
Oh, nat 20. Lovely. It's a 23.
Nice.
So
That's
with
my nat 20 for the day.
So with these ingredients you manage to scrounge up, and whatever's left over in your makeshift nest upstairs in Trollskull Manor, you manage to make either, it's entirely up to you, 8 potions of healing or 8 basic poisons.
We'll go with healing.
Very well, 8 potions of healing. You've learned how to make a small amount of ingredients go a long way. And although these potions are made slightly different than how you usually would, you've used different ingredients in different quantities to help stretch them out. They come out of it looking the same as usual, and you're confident that they will be of a great help in the weeks to come.
Awesome. 2 each.
2 each, yep. Fantastic.
So that includes 2 for Sir Lucian.
Yep. And speaking of Sir Lucian, all of you notice that you don't see very much of him over the winter. Sure, he comes to Trollskull Manor at the start of winter for at least the beginning of the celebrations, which he basically spends most of that time in his private booth, ignoring everyone, drinking on his own. But after that, he doesn't come into Trollskull Manor at all, and winter comes and goes without you seeing so much of hide nor hair of him. And thus, winter passes, and spring comes once again to Waterdeep, the snow melting away into the cobblestone streets, the streets themselves filling once again with throngs of Waterdavians going about their daily lives, the humidity and the mist rolling in from the mountains that surround Waterdeep. And for the past several days, the talk of the streets and taverns has been all about the so-called death curse, a wasting disease afflicting everyone who's ever been raised from the dead. You hear whispers of victims growing thinner and weaker each day, slowly but steadily sliding toward the death they once denied. When they finally succumb, they can't be raised again. And neither can anyone else, regardless of whether they've ever received that miracle in the past. Temples and scholars of divine magic are at a loss to explain a curse that seems to have affected the entire region, and possibly the entire world. And so, as you go about your day-to-day lives, serving the clientele of your tavern as per usual, you keep hearing talk of this strange phenomenon, and you're not quite sure what to make of it. Until a scant few days into spring proper, you receive a letter simply slid under the door just before lunchtime as you're cleaning up after the breakfast rush. You unfold the letter, and it appears you have been invited to the home of a woman known as Sindra Sylvain, a retired adventurer and merchant. The letter simply reads, "I invite you to an audience at my home. I feel, based on your past accomplishments, that you are the adventurers who can get to the bottom of this." She doesn't elaborate, but you assume she's referring to the so-called death curse that has become the #1 topic of gossip in the city of late. And so, would you like to head over to her home immediately, or is there anything you would like to do first?
Well, if it's spring again, that means the stores are open, correct?
That is correct.
Well, then Bobbit has a deal to collect upon, plus 1 or 2 things to very quickly sell. So if we could just fast forward through that'd be fun.
Yep. So Bobbit, I'd like you to make a persuasion check, please.
Persuasion, I believe, is +7. Yep. So that's going to be a 19.
As everyone else grabs their gear, leaves the tavern in the hands of the capable staff, and begins to travel to the home of Sindra Sylvain. You make a quick stop at the Bent Nail pawn shop in Troll Skull Alley, and meet your favourite red-haired shopkeeper. As soon as she sees you enter with that smirk on your face, she looks up and she says, "Ah, Bobbit, I know what you're here for. Just wait a moment." And she spends a few minutes rifling through boxes and bags underneath the counter until she eventually pulls out a large leather pouch. She says, "All of the trinkets from the zoo managed to sell just before winter, actually. And as promised, here's your cut." She hands you the bag, and inside you find 250 gold pieces.
Yay! Rich get richer.
As you thank her, and as you head towards the door... Oh, is there anything you want to sell to her?
Yes, I do have some... I think some gems worth 500. Not the blue quartz gems. I'm trying to think of something to do with that, but regular gems that I want to sell. Plus, I have some of this family heirlooms. I'm not sure if that was a thing from earlier on that I've already sold, but
you've sold
just
those.
You've sold those. I thought I figured I had. That's why I checked. Okay, so I do have gems.
Yep, and how much did I say they were worth?
I've got 500 written down here.
Yeah, gems worth 500. And so, I'd like you to make another persuasion check, please.
And that's 2 in a row. That's another 19.
19. You show her the bag. Oh, I see that the Facebook thing didn't update. That's all right. I'll update it later. And so you hand her the bag of gems, and as she sees them, her eyes light up, and she says, "Already found something else to sell and foist upon me, have you?" She laughs and she says, "Oh, I'd be happy to take them off your hands." She says, "Let's see, 500 for the lot?"
Yep.
She smiles as she takes the bag of gems, hands you the gold coins, and she says, My oh my, Bobbit. You know, I always wondered who was going to take over this shop when I retired, and I think the more I do business with you, I think when you've got some spare time, you might just be the one I train up for such an occasion."
Ooh, that sounds really fun. In that case, Bobbit should probably tell you her actual name. She apologizes for not telling it sooner, mostly because she didn't know until about... it starts counting on her fingers. Just before winter. It was an awkward time.
You tell her your name, and she nods, and she says, "Alessander, how lovely. Sounds like you've got quite the story there. But things to sell and time is money. While we're talking names, though, I don't believe I've ever told you mine."
The second she says this, Bobbit gasps. It's like, "Oh no, the whole time I've known you, I never knew your name."
She holds open her arms as if to invite you into a hug.
Hugs.
And as she wraps her arms around you, she tells you her name at last. Amelia.
Aww. It's nice to meet you at last, Amelia.
She smiles and laughs, and as you leave the shop, she waves at you and says, "Have a good day, Alessander."
And Bobbit just sort of waves that goes, "Bobbit's fine, everyone else still calls her that."
And so, you then make your way to the home of Sindra Sylvain with the others. You arrive at Sindra Sylvain's home, a rather posh manor house in the North Ward of Waterdeep. A uniformed attendant greets you in the lobby and then leads you up a grand staircase to the 3rd floor, then ushers you all into a wood-panelled room with a fireplace, comfortable chairs, and a heavy table bearing goblets and bottles of wine. The darkly panelled walls are hung with maps and sea charts. Racks, shelves, and cabinets hold hundreds more rolled up maps and charts. A person is seated in an overstuffed armchair near a roaring fire. You can't discern a gender, because only the person's head emerges from under a heavy blanket draped over the chair, and an embroidered hood and silver mask conceal the wearer's face. Even the person's dry, raspy voice provides no clue. Help yourselves to wine, and seat yourselves, friends. I hope I may call you that. The uniformed attendant gestures towards a small mahogany table next to the armchair, where the goblets and bottles of wine are laid out, ready for you. What do you do?
Bobbitt's happy to take a seat, although she will pour the goblet into the little tankard she keeps on her at all times, which everyone keeps telling her that's the only thing she's allowed to drink out of.
Yep. You pour yourself some wine, and as you drink it, you can't help but feel that maybe the grown-ups are fussed about nothing with all this wine and alcohol they keep drinking, because from your perspective, it tastes awful, and that seems to be the only thing going for it. So you can't help but wonder if something is wrong with all of the people who love this stuff, because every time you've drunk it out of your little tankards, you really don't see what all the fuss is about.
Bobbit continues to question solution.
It is at this point that the door to the wood-panelled room opens, and several people step in. First among them is Sir Lucian. He nods to everyone present and then immediately heads over to their mahogany table, pours a goblet of wine, takes a seat in a green armchair, and begins to silently sip from the goblet. Behind him come three other people. Most prominent among them, a huge, muscly dragonborn with black scales, wearing heavy hide armor over his torso, legs, and arms. Behind him walk a familiar-looking gnome who you've seen before, almost exactly a year ago. You remember his name to be Bartleby Snavillier, and as soon as he enters the room, you see his gaze immediately shoot over to the roaring fire in the fireplace. Beside him walks a noble-looking halfling clad in full plate armor with a symbol of a deity you do not recognize emblazoned in gold on the breastplate. You notice a sheath for a sword wrapped around his waist, but rather than a blade being sheathed within, you instead see a whip knotted up and stuffed into the sheath.
That is exactly how he would carry it, yes.
They have burned handles.
I was going to say, Bobbitt's just looking between Veska and the very large black-scaled dragonborn, vaguely remembering conversation from when they first met their other dragon friend, whose name I can never remember to pronounce.
Oranax.
Notice
as the black-scaled dragonborn enters the room and makes a beeline for the table with the wine, Veska's gaze immediately fixes upon him, and you notice her lips draw thinner and thinner, but he does not appear to notice her watching him. Instead, he pours 3, not 2, goblets of wine, and then hoists up the remainder of the bottle and carries it over to a red armchair opposite Sir Lucian. He plops down into the armchair and begins swigging from the bottle itself.
That sounds about right.
His companions, Bartleby and the halfling, each take a goblin, and then before your eyes, the third goblet that was poured lifts up out of the air on its own and carries itself over to a leather sofa situated opposite the fire, right beside the entrance to the room. Bartleby and the halfling take their seats, and then the Dragonborn clears his throat and speaks. He gestures towards all of you. He says, "Are these the owners of that tavern?"
Is he talking to us, or is
Yes.
he talking to the other people?
He seems to be talking to you. You don't know who he's talking to, but as soon as he says it, Bartleby perks up and says, "Oh, yes, I recognize all of them, except for that one there." And he points at Bulb.
Oh, that's right. He looked like a lizard the last time we saw you. No, he wasn't a lizard. He was an angel person, and then he died, and now he's a bird. It's been a fun year.
Bartleby then, his gaze still fixed upon the fireplace, and says, "Might I say, it's not a cold day by any means, but I admire your choice to have a roaring fire on a day such as this." At this point, the black Dragonborn raps Bartleby on the back of the head with a fist and says, "None of your fire stuff, I mean it! I'll punt you out the window if you so much as raise a finger towards that fireplace." He looks around and he says, "Now, is everyone present?" Milo, the halfling, nods and he looks towards you all and he says, "Milo O'Tealeaf, paladin of..." What was the halfling god's name again?
Yondala.
Yeah. Paladin of Yondala at your service. And then beside him, the floating goblet just raises itself as if for a toast. He says, and that is Reaver Throatslitter, Harper, and our resident rogue.
I would just keep staring at the floating thing going, "You see a ghost? I was not a big fan of ghosts. You have to tell me if you're a ghost."
The black Dragonborn just claps his hands together and he says, "Right, well, Miss Sylvain, if you would get this over and done with, I'm on a time limit here. Unfortunately, I have to pay a visit to the city dungeons and get that disappointment of a son out on bail."
Wait, has he introduced himself to us yet?
At this point, as soon as he says, "my disappointment of a son," Veska perks up, and she says, I knew it! You're Nargle! King Consort to the Storm Court!" He looks over at her and he smiles and he says, "Yes, of course! Not King Consort, I prefer to be called Nargle, Grand Barbarian of the Storm Court, thank you." He says, "You perked up. You seem to have made the acquaintance of my idiot son." She says,
"Can I perception check to see if Nargle's danger sense is going off? Because I feel like Veska's going to hit him."
"Yeah, make an insight check, please."
Let it happen.
That's only a 9. Don't worry.
You notice Nargle just staring at her, and he trails off mid-sentence, and he says, "Hang on, have I met you before? You look kind of familiar." He stares at her as she gets up out of her seat, stares right back at him, and then snaps her finger, blasting him with a ray of frost that knocks him off the sofa. He sprawls on the floor, water and icicles dripping off his armor, and as he climbs to his feet, he stomps the floor, shaking the whole room, and he shouts, "Ah! What did you do that for, woman?" He reaches for his back, and then he says, "Right! That idiot son of mine still has the bloody axe!" She says, "Say, I know your son is Narthel, but do you remember a certain moon elf princess that you may have rescued from the Yak folk? You know, before you took on Duke Zalta, you escorted her back home and helped her with some things." She purses her lips and folds her arms, and Nargle says, "A moon elf princess." And he suddenly frowns. He bows his head. He says, "Oh no. Oh. Oh no." Veska looks up and says, "Yeah, I was the product of that union. Nice to meet you, Dad." She puts unnecessary emphasis on the word.
I was going to say, the second you said it, you just hear a small spitting noise as what's left of Bobbitt's wine just goes spraying out.
Nargle just stares back at Veska, his mouth still hanging agape, and there's a few minutes of awkward silence. And he says, "Okay, so what's your name?" "Veska," she says, "though Bobbit calls me Moon Moon, on account of my parentage."
Yeah.
Nargle says, "Right. Please tell me you don't have a criminal record, at least." She shakes her head and she says, "Nope, never stolen anything, never extorted a single penny from orphans that I may have had a hand in orphaning."
Tell on the nose, but continue.
Nargle just growls. "That boy." He looks over at her. He says, "Well, look, you're already my favorite, just based on that."
Oh, wow.
He says, "Now, obviously, I can't exactly welcome you to Maelstrom for obvious reasons, but if you have time in the next few days, perhaps we might catch up over a meal in Waterdeep and maybe practice your sword form on some practice dummies over at the city guard barracks or something." She smiles, folds her hands, and simply says, and then sits down.
Wait, so this is the Dragonborn you were telling us about that messed up your entire life?
She says, "Yes, thanks to him. Well, let's just say.
Sorry to interrupt, but I've got to go pick up my car. I'll be back.
Cool, you'll be back.
Soon.
Today's going to be a long one anyway, because I want to actually because this roleplay's drawing it out, but I still want to get everything done. So.
Awesome, I will take it. Okay, bye.
Yep. So she frowns and she says, "Let's just say that in my tribe, only being a half-elf means there are questions of whether I'm a legitimate heir to my mother." Nargle looks at her and says, "Oh, bloody hell, not you too!" He says, "What is it with these queens?"
Well, Bobbit made a promise to Moon Moon when she told us this story. So Bob needs to quickly go and collect, and just before anyone else says anything, strolls over the room, looks up at Nargle. How tall is Bobbit compared to Nargle, or vice versa?
You barely come up to his waist.
Perfect. I'd punch you in the nuts.
You
Can I roll to attack?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll to attack.
Obviously, this is going to be a strength thing, so this is going to suck. 12.
Your fist slams into his codpiece and then it bounces right off as you hit something hard, your hand in pain. Nargle looks down at you and his mouth twitches and he says, "Why you?" And then...
Don't you touch my bobbit.
Then as he sees Ava rise to her feet, he takes a deep breath. "Remember, Nargle, remember what Sarissa said? Count to 10. 1, 2, 3.
I was just sitting on the floor, just trying to get feeling back in the hand. And go, well, I haven't tried.
He slowly
Provide first aid.
He slowly counts up to 10, and then looks at Bobbit and just bares his tongue, with a drop of acid leaking off the end, splashing onto the wooden floorboards. He turns to Veska and he says, "Very well, Veska. I believe your group has made their point. I will endeavour to journey to your tribe's wood and settle this myself." She simply smiles and nods and says, "Thank you, Dad," and then sits down.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daddy.
Nargle gestures towards the person wrapped in a bundle of blankets on the chair and says, "Now, unless we have any more dirty laundry we'd like to air, I'm in a hurry." The emaciated-looking figure under the blanket continues on in a dry, crackling voice. "My name is Sindra Sylvain. I was an adventurer years ago. I died once and was raised from the dead. I've since closed the door on that stage of my life. The death curse you've heard about has struck me. It is the cause for my current condition. I don't know how much longer I'll last before I perish. Clerics have made no help. They have no help to offer. They're stymied by what is happening. My contacts in the Harpers," she looks over at Nargle and his companions, "have learned that the cause of the death curse is a necromantic artifact called the Soulmonger. According to their sources, the Soulmonger has been divined to be somewhere in the land of Chult." To Bobbit, do you have any reaction to the land of Chult being mentioned?
No,
Obviously, Bobbit's eyes go, why are they going, wait, are you sure you said Chult?
She says, "Yes, Chult is a peninsula ringed with mountains, choked with rainforests, enormous reptiles, savage goblins, and an army of undead to prowl its jungles and ruins. Mapping the place has always been nigh impossible, and nothing is known about the region's current geography beyond a few miles from the coast. But the Harper's finest minds have divined the taint of the Soulmonger and believe it with 100% certainty to be somewhere within this savage frontier." She looks around, gesturing to the sea charts and maps around the room, and she says, "Working from dozens of sea charts, logbooks, and explorers' journals, I've assembled everything known about the current state of Chult into one map. I'll provide it to you if you undertake my mission." She says, "If you undertake my mission and you return successful, I promise you a rare magical item each from my collection. And, furthermore, I feel that you have no choice but to undertake this mission, as I've been told one amongst your number has been resurrected and suffers from the same curse." She looks...
Bob only got reincarnated. That doesn't count. Who else would have been possibly...
She looks with a piercing look over at Sir Lucian. He looks at you all quietly, and then lifts the left sleeve of his chainmail, revealing a large rash taking up most of his left arm, a portion where the skin has gone colourless with decay.
Wow.
And I will now reveal that Sir Lucian, as a victim of the death curse, will have -5 to his maximum HP, and whenever he takes a level of exhaustion, he will instead take 2.
Oh shit.
Sir Lucian simply nods. He says, "It's true. It appeared a few days after we made off with the gold from the Vault of the Dragon, and I've been trying to search for help, but like Syndra here, help has been hard to find." At this point, the door to the room opens, and yet another figure steps through. You see, wearing the garb of a druid, an elvish man. As he steps into the room, he immediately looks around, his gaze fixing upon Bulb, Bobbit, and Ava. At this point, he salutes the 3 of you with the salute of the Emerald Enclave, and then walks over to you. I will now introduce a new player to our campaign, Smithy.
Hello.
Smithy is playing Zinhorn Oloro, the Moon Druid. And Smithy, you are a long-time member of the Emerald Enclave, held in high regard by the Enclave. And you were told by Malinar, the leader of the Waterdeep chapter of the Enclave, that Bolbi saw Bobbit and Ava, 3 junior members of the Enclave who have since proven themselves to be rather good assets to the group, will soon be leaving on a dangerous and lengthy quest to a foreign land far away. And without any further context, he simply dispatched you to the home of retired adventurer Syndra Sylvain, where they were currently being given their mission. Your orders to assist them however you can, while also doing your best to propagate the wisdom and teachings of the Emerald Enclave in a land that has so far remained untouched by your order. And so, Zinhorn Oloro, I would ask you to introduce yourself to the others, please.
Well, hello there. You must be the new colleagues of mine that are going to be joining on your adventures. My name is Zinhorn Oloro.
Hi!
Bobbit just barks, "Hi!" And Ava simply nods.
Welcome.
Yep. Ava welcomes you to the group, and Bulb simply nods. He holds out a feathered hand, wing, whatever you want to call it, and says, "Welcome to the group, Zinhorn. I'm Bulb I Saw, and it is very nice to finally make the acquaintance of a fellow member of the Enclave." Oh, M1's
like
here.
Nature and
Yes.
shining.
Ah, M1 is here, so yeah.
Yeah.
So, Sir Lucian.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yep. So did you hear what the effects of the death curse are on you?
Yeah, I certainly did.
Yep. Okay.
Massive rash.
Yes, a
All
massive
of them.
rash that will give you -5 to your max HP permanently until the death curse is cured. Whenever you get a level
Anyone wanna
of
lick it?
exhaustion, you get 2. So yeah, and I'm sure no one wants to lick it.
Who's got topical cream?
And so, with that, Syndra Sylvain looks at you all, and she says, My contacts in the Harpers, the Fellowship of Steel, suggested that you would be a group well suited to this quest. After all, you have become well-known heroes of Waterdeep, and, quite frankly, everyone in the Fellowship has their own commitments to attend to, and, well, at this Milo steps forward and says, I'm afraid our adventuring days are far beyond us, and if there is anyone who is in position to finance an expedition to the distant land of Chult, I declare there would be none other more suited than the heroes of Waterdeep, who just recently acquired 500,000 gold from the Vault of a Dragon.
I mean, I guess.
Bobbit's already going.
Yeah.
Hmm?
I don't think any of us have a problem, except for maybe Sir Lucian, who was...
No, he has personal stake in this.
Yeah, he's... It's so...
Actually,
He doesn't die without if you don't go.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. It's like, yeah, you could sit here and say, no, I don't want to go, but fine, have fun running.
And so Syndra's Sylvain raises her withered-looking hands from underneath the blanket, clasps them together, looks at you and says, will you undertake my quest? Locate the Soulmonger, destroy it, and end the death curse before everyone affected by it wastes away.
Well, yeah, we gotta do it to save Sir Lucian.
Sounds like a noble cause.
Bobbit takes a quick look at Mr. Stick and says, Bobbit has questions, she needs answers. It just happens that Chult's gotta be where she has to go anyway. Hooray! Coincidence.
Nargle claps his hands together and stands up and says, right, well, that's sorted, you're going on the quest. Now, I and my entourage have to pay a visit to the city dungeons. And with that, he begins leading his group out of the room. Milo
I feel
and...
like Reaper would be like, I ain't your entourage.
Milo and...
Smack him up the back of the head out of spite.
Milo and Bartleby bid you farewell by nodding their heads, and at this point, the goblet that's just floating in the air that's apparently Raven drains what's left of the wine, and then you see a window open, as if invisible hands have grabbed the window frame and forced it open, and you feel the rustle, you hear a rush of air and wind as the invisible Raver leaps through the window into the streets outside.
Yeah, because who needs doors?
Yeah.
Yep. Bobbit just looks and goes, Bobbit could do that.
And as the Fellowship of Steel make their way down the main staircase, just as they exit earshot, you hear Bartleby say, now, Steed, before we move onwards, are you sure your son does not require a prison break? And you hear Nargle roar, for the last time, no fires!
Bobbit's gonna miss that gnome.
You hear the sound of a door slamming, and then muffled in the distance behind layers of wood and brick. Onward, Steed!
Yeah. I feel sorry for whoever had to raise those guys.
Later that day, you find yourselves all assembled at the busy docks of Waterdeep. The shouts of sailors and dock workers busy around you, moving cargo on and off ships and going about their busy daily work. You are gathered in front of a small sloop, proudly called the Ocean Pegasus. A symbol of the Lord's Alliance is emblazoned on the hull, both sides, right underneath the bow of the ship. As you stare at the ship, a man dressed in captain's garb, pushes down the wooden the wooden ramp that allows people on the dock to get on board the ship, and he waves at you. He says, "Welcome, welcome, Lady Bobbit and Queen's Guard. Lady Silverhand of the Open Lord has received word that you are to embark to Chult, and as a show of good faith between the Lord's Alliance and the burgeoning kingdom of Sconeland, has paid your fare."
Yay!
He says,
Do you have room for Bobbit's stuff?
He says, "Carrying what you can carry aboard only, I'm afraid."
Bobbit just looks back behind her at both the mechanical mule and the mechanical dragon behind her, going,
The captain looks at you, and then he shrugs and he says, "Oh, we'll find room somewhere. Come aboard! Come aboard!"
Yay!
And as the ship rocks at the end of the stone jetty, he beckons for you to all climb aboard the sloop.
Okay. Well, Bobbit's taking her stuff and getting on.
Yeah.
You climb aboard the sloop, feeling the ship wobbling underneath you, and for most of you, this is your first time at sea. And as soon as you walk aboard, I would like all of you to please make Constitution saves.
It's 14.
14.
21.
21.
Natural 20, so 22.
20. Right.
Wow.
And
So everyone's just taking turns of wasting their natural 20 today.
Very first roll. Very
spot?
first roll.
Yeah, welcome aboard, Smitty.
Yeah. Okay, the dice spot is not working, so oh, and Smithy, if you scroll up, there is a link to Owlbear. I'll post. You'll have to jump in that if you want to see the map. At M1, you might.
It's a 12 with a -1 with the linen.
Lovely. I will roll for Bulb, and that is a 12. Okay, so Ava, Bobbit, Ava and Smithy both pass. Everyone else fails. And
no.
you will find yourselves beset by seasickness as the ship journeys across the waves.
Aww.
As you stand there on the deck, wobbling from back to forth, a number of you looking immediately pale. The captain thrusts out a hairy hand to make your acquaintance, and he says, "Captain Barnabas of the Ocean's Pegasus at your service." He shakes your hands one by one, and he says, "I'll see you safely to Chult," as he leads you below deck to show you your quarters. As soon as you come below deck, you come to a doorway set into a wooden wall, a doorway with a plaque reading Captain's Quarters on it. He gestures towards it. He says, "This is where I normally sleep, but knowing we have Her Highness on board," he gestures towards Bobbit, "I have deigned to sleep amongst the crew and passengers for this voyage. Lady Bobbit, consider these your quarters." He reaches over and pushes open the door, revealing a sparsely but adequately furnished room on the other side, with a proper four-poster bed, a desk, and a rather comfortable-looking couch.
Aw, thank you, Mr. Captain.
He says...
Bold, just take his stuff and go inside.
He says, "And the rest of you," he leads you further into the deck, and eventually you emerge in the cargo hold, where several haphazardly strung up hammocks line the walls, simply made out of what appears to be old flour sacks that have been cut open and turned into sheets. He says, As for the rest of you, this is where we shall be sleeping for the duration of the voyage. So, pick a hammock and make yourselves at home.
Imagine just like everyone else staring at. Just imagine everyone else staring at this. You just hear muffled noises upstairs. Bobbert just talking to a construct going, "This is amazing. This bed's awesome. Bobbert might actually consider sleeping in this."
Meanwhile, as you all look at the sparse bedding you'll be occupying during the voyage, Sir Lucian, knowing that you're going to spend the next 28 days on sea, lying in a hammock, sleeping with everybody else in the cargo hold, instead of that lovely room that Bobbert was given, what do you have to say?
I think the look on my face from looking at the death curse that's already upon me is just the look of death. It's just seeing everybody in the room.
Yeah, it's like you already have the death curse, and this is like, way to kick a man when he's down.
There's nothing else he can descend to at this point, besides, death again.
There are no other accommodations. You even ask the captain, and he assures you that there are no other accommodations on the sloop worthy of someone of Sir Lucian's station. And so, Sir Lucian...
I'm defeated.
Defeated, broken look on your face. You just sit down on the nearest hammock, bury your face in your hands.
Does he start sobbing?
And as you start sobbing, you just say, "Oh, this voyage has been nothing but hell so far."
We haven't even left port, sir.
I've already died once.
There, Sir Lucian.
It's so mean. Everyone else doesn't respect me anymore.
And so the rest of you pick hammocks to sleep in. Any preference for any of you?
Ava's pretty easy.
Yeah. Do you want one close to the floor, or do you want one of the higher ones? Higher to
I'll take
the
a
roof.
higher
It's still close to the floor, though.
Yeah, still close to the floor. It's just slightly higher.
Do you want the 3-inch or the 4-inch option off the ground?
Bobbett's still just bouncing onto the bed until, the seasickness kicks in. She'll probably collapse after that.
Zinhorn, any preferences on where you'd like to sleep?
Whichever one is available.
Yep. So you all pick out your hammocks, place your bags underneath the hammock you've chosen, and then, once you're settled in, you join the captain on deck once again, as he takes his spot at the helm, raises his cutlass, points it forwards, and shouts, "Anchors away!" The ramp is pulled up onto deck. The sailors immediately scatter to their places, rolling out the sails, the rigging, and pulling the anchor up onto deck. The ship begins to wind its way out of Waterdeep Harbour, and within half an hour, the city of Waterdeep is nothing but a speck on the horizon. And thus begins the long journey to Chult. A journey you were told will take 28 days over the sea. And these days, for the most part, are incredibly boring.
Quick question.
Yep.
Oh my god, he said that's exactly what I was about to ask.
He's going to be saying, yeah. Are we there yet?
Are we there yet?
Yeah, so Lucian just asks, every day So Lucian just asks, "Are we there yet?" And his heart sinks as he's told, "No, we still have 21 days. No, we still have at least 19 days. No, still have at least 17 days to go." And so you settle in to a routine of monotony, waking, performing your tasks aboard the ship, retiring back to bed after a meagre meal of sailor's biscuit, dried bread and cheese, and very watered down ale. And then, on the 20th day, as the ship rocks you all, and everyone except for Zinhorn and Ava by this point feels the effects of seasickness, their insides churning. You are awoken. You are awoken from a disturbed sleep filled with queasy dreams of throwing up all over the ship, which is, to be fair, just an extension of what you've been doing during your waking hours. You are woken up by a shout from the captain. Enemy ship sighted ahead! Battle stations, everyone!
Dun dun dun.
You scramble out of bed, gather your supplies, and emerge groggy just in time to see the other sailors strapping on leather armor, equipping weapons to their belts, sticking swords into their sheaths, and running upstairs onto deck.
I guess I'll get ready and go for a fly.
Yep.
The one time Bobbert decides to actually take a nap.
And Sir Lucian, you're just kind of excited because something appears to be happening. Thank the gods! You pronounce as you grab your sword, strap on your armor, and follow the crew members up onto deck.
Just curious, does my death curse sort of cause any like pending agony? So like going up a stair, like an immediate clutch to that area?
It doesn't appear to be painful. It just makes you feel out of breath, if anything. And so as you emerge on deck, you find yourself out of breath, and as everyone else runs across deck ready to assemble in their battle stations, you just clasp your chest and kneel over and begin to breathe. Clasping your sword beside you. Death Blythe is back.
Oh, God. Not again.
Captain Barnabas has his hands on the helm, and as you emerge from below deck, he says, "We've spotted an enemy ship just ahead of the horizon, flying black flags, a pirate ship." He says, "We don't negotiate with pirates. We have to assume they're going to be on the attack. And so, we're going to try, first of all, to outmaneuver them. Then, if all else fails, we will be ready for them to board battle stations." He points to each of you in turn. He says, "I never assigned you battle stations, so feel free to assist where you think you would be of most help." He says either join the men at the sails, ready to maneuver the sails to catch the wind, or, if you would like, join me up on the helm, help us steer.
I want to scout.
You want to scout? And so he says, "Very well, you, Ava, up into the crow's nest, now!"
I fly up.
You fly up into the crow's nest. What would everyone else like to do?
So we're basically on our own here.
You can choose whether you want to join the men who are manning the ropes that move the sails around so that they can try to catch the wind, or you can stay with the captain and help maneuver the helm and the capstan to help steer the ship.
I'm not really good at either of those, and it's like strength is like a worse stat and has like buggerall perception.
I'll stay with the captain.
You'll stay with the captain. Very well, Bobbert.
Can Bobbert roll for an idea, see what she can do?
Yeah, Bobbert can roll for an idea. Go ahead, do an intelligence check.
Intelligence. It's going to be an 18.
An 18, lovely. Okay, and Bobbert, you feel you're not strong enough to assist with either of those tasks. However, something does occur to you. Perhaps you could climb up in the crow's nest and fire either your gun or spells at the enemy ship.
Ooh, fun times. I'll just get Keeper to give me a lift up.
The captain says, very well, perhaps you can hit something important and slow them down. As you climb aboard Keeper, he opens his mouth, letting out a metallic roar, then spreads his wings, lifting you up into the crow's nest. You climb off his back and settle in beside Ava in the crow's nest.
Hello.
Hi.
Battle stations, men! Shouts the captain once again. And then you see it as a wave crashes over the horizon and scatters. You see the bow of a ship, at least double the size of yours, its black flag raised high above it, flapping in the sea wind. The captain shouts, "Evasive maneuvers! We've got to change course so we don't sail right into them!" Okay, I would like, first of all, Ava to make a perception check from the crow's nest.
Alright, that is 18 plus 4, so 22.
22. Okay. You quickly determine the bearing of the enemy ship and shout it down to the captain. He says, "Very well, turn 90 degrees east!" The men begin pulling on the ropes, turning the sails. I will need Sir Lucian to please make an athletics check with advantage.
Time to be an American hero. Alright.
You mean a Waterdeep
Clutch the hilt of his blade. Your Waterdeepian hero. I got a 13.
13. You grab the rope and help the sailors turn the sails until they're facing east, catching the wind and helping the captain and sorry, I gotta learn Smithy's name, Zinhorn, steer the ship. The captain grabs the helm, begins to turn it, spinning it as fast as he can, turning the ship. "Zinhorn, get on the capstan there! Raise the anchor half! Lower the anchor and then raise it halfway to help us turn!" Zinhorn, I would like you to please make, if you have sea vehicles, make that as a check. Otherwise, make a dexterity check, please.
Okay. That is a 16 for Dex.
16 to Dex. You lower the anchor, the ship jerks to a stop. You then raise it again halfway, allowing the ship to turn on the spot until it's facing away from the pirates. The sails catch the wind and the ship begins to glide through the waves, cresting a big wave ahead of you, cutting through the top of it and then crashing down onto the ocean below. Bang! 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 You hear gunfire in the distance. The captain shouts, "They're firing their cannons! Brace! Brace!" I'd like everyone to please make either a dex check, a dex save, or a con save.
Okay.
Oh, I got a 9.
I can beat that, I got a 5.
Oh, wow. Oh, damn.
6.
Oof. 17.
Nice.
17.
This is not a good time to be up in the crow's nest.
From your spot in the crow's nest, you see a barrage of cannonballs fly through the air as the 5 cannons that line the side of the pirate ship fire in unison, shooting at you as your ship begins to circle around them, trying to evade. The cannonballs fly through the air. The majority of them miss you, sailing over the ship and landing a heavy splash into the water below. But bang! Crash! 2 of them slam directly into the ship. smashing against both the capstan and the crow's nest, dealing... Oh, the ice spot's still not working. Dealing 4 points of bludgeoning damage to Bobbit and Zinhorn.
No.
Lady Bobbit, return fire! Shouts the captain. How would you like to return fire, Bobbit? Gun or Eldritch Blast?
Gun could work. Failing that, I do have a mechanical fire-breathing dragon.
You do have that
I
too.
assume is which is against, I guess, a very wooden ship.
Yes, a very flammable ship.
I might save that one for if we get closer. So just take a shot from now. So just
with your
casually
gun.
just see how I make a sniping position with a goddamn pistol. That's a goddamn nat 20. Holy shit.
You raise your gun, angle it over the side of the crow's nest, and bang! Fire! You hear a loud scream, ah! As one of the enemy cannons explodes and the pirate manning it topples over the side into the drink below.
Bobby just looks down at the gun and goes, wait, that wasn't the explosive bullet. Had that? Yep, whatever.
Continue making evasive maneuvers! Lady Ava, what is our bearing? Shouts the captain. Ava, please make a perception check.
17.
17. You determine that if you continue heading in your current bearing, the enemy ship will be able to intercept you with its cannonballs. You shout, to the left! The captain shouts, right men! Turn the sails to the west! The men grab hold of the ropes and begin pulling them, moving the sails around. So Lucian, make an athletics check with advantage, please.
Oofed. That is an 18. I haven't had the modifier yet.
That's fine. That's fine.
Pass.
The ship groans as it cuts through the waves, and as you rotate the main sail, you rotate the main mast, moving the sail so that it faces the wind. The ship catches the wind and it rocks, nearly moving, crashing against the waves, as nearly capsizing as the wind blows against it. The captain grabs the helm and quickly turns it, attempting to right the ship. Zinhorn, please make a dexterity check.
That one is an 8.
An 8. You lower the anchor. Smash! You feel it. You feel the entire ship rock as the anchor hits something hard at the bottom of the ocean. You attempt to wind it back up, but it seems to be caught on something, and the captain can't steer the ship in time. The wind blasts against the ship, nearly capsizing it in the ocean, and all of you are knocked off your feet, taking an additional 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Bummer.
The captain finally manages to retain control of the ship, but your evasive maneuvers are for naught, as you see the pirate ship moving directly towards you. Bang! 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 You hear the sound of the cannons. Brace! Shouts the captain. And you may make, because Bobbit took out one of the cannons, you may make a con save or dex save with advantage.
I'm really glad you did that, because I rolled a 1 first and then a 14.
I got a 14.
I got a nat 20.
Nat 20.
Damn.
Okay. How did Sir Lucian go?
13.
13. Fortunately, you all managed to dodge just in time, and as Bobbit has taken out one of the cannons, there is a smaller barrage than before. You duck, brace, hugging the deck of the ship and the sides of the crow's nest as the barrage of cannonballs sails over the ship and splashes into the water behind you. They're coming in for boarding! Shouts the captain. Battle stations, everyone! And as the pirate ship sails straight towards you. I would like everyone to please roll for initiative.
Yeah, that's a 6.
6 for Bobbit.
19.
Ooh. Nice.
Oh, it's 18.
18, nice one.
I also got 18.
Okay, so you'll go 17, and Ava will go 18. Okay, Bobbit.
I am at 18.
Yep, I know, but I'll make you go before her. Bobbit, what was yours again?
6.
6. And what was yours, Zinhorn?
19.
19. Ooh, nice. So Zinhorn will be going first. Let me see. So I'll just add you to the actual... There we go. And I will roll for Bulb, and Bulb gets a 14. Okay, I'm going to switch to the battle map of the pirate ship. Okay, Zinhorn, you are ready for the enemy pirates. You get to go first.
Alright, just waiting for them to...
Hang on, if you're not in... are you in our bit? Oh, you're dear, yes.
Yeah, it's just waiting for it to pop up.
Yep, that's it.
Floating.
So,
Please float.
Yeah, because the pirate ship image is pretty big. I don't know why it is, but...
and just so I'm aware, each of these squares is at 5 or 10?
That's 5, 5 feet squares.
It is 5 feet. Cool. So, what I am going to do is... So I'm just double checking my spells. I am going to go for a first level ice knife. So I'm going to move towards the back, so behind where the solution is.
Yep. So you run over the deck of the ship and shelter behind the helm.
Yeah. And I'm going to aim towards where the captain is.
Yep, pirate captain. Lovely.
With a first level ice knife.
Yep, go ahead and roll to hit with your ice knife.
That is a 10.
A 10, unfortunately, a 10 does not hit. The captain sees your ice knife coming and ducks behind the side of his ship. Your knife hits the wood and shatters. Okay, it is Ava's turn.
Okie dokie.
Doesn't that knife deal damage if it misses anyway?
Oh yeah, he takes half, doesn't he? Yeah.
You don't miss and the shard explodes, and each target within 5 feet of it must succeed a dex save.
Yeah.
Or take 2d6.
Yep. Okay, so I would like you to roll 2d6.
That is an 8.
An 8. So the pirate captain takes 4 points of damage, and so does pirate 5, as the shards from your ice knife spill over onto the deck of their ship, striking them. It is Ava's turn.
Alright, I will shoot at pirate 2.
Yep, go ahead, roll to hit.
I just got a nat 20.
Ooh, okay,
damn.
That's a hit. Roll damage and double.
There you go.
I'm actually getting nat 20 for once.
Is this like your third?
Yeah.
Just lucky today.
What's some
Where's
jinxy
my D8?
guys?
You know I'm gonna roll just on that ones now.
Of course.
Don't you dare say anything. No,
Don't.
do not say anything.
Did not.
Do not bring that evil in the
Internet is
universe.
bad enough.
Alright. 12 times 2. So 24.
24. Ooh, nice. Your arrow
My
hits
D4,
him. Yep, roll your d4.
which is a 3. That was a 3.
Yep, 3. Your
Yeah.
arrow hits him in the chest, and blood stains his white sailor's shirt. He groans in pain and looks at you, feeling betrayed. Would you like to make another attack at
Betrayed?
him?
Wait, why would he be killing the traitors?
Because they're clearly not used to their prey fighting back.
Oh, sucks for them.
Alright, well, I'll hit him with another attack.
Alright, go ahead.
Alright, that's 15 plus 8.
15 plus 8, that is a hit. Roll for damage.
That is 7.
7. He raises a rapier again. He raises a rapier in the air, threatening you, and another arrow lands in his arm. He drops his rapier and clutches his arm in pain.
Now you got no weapon.
Would you like to move anywhere, Ava?
No, this is a good spot.
Good spot. Okay, it is the enemy's turn. The pirate captain yells, "Get them! Get them, you scurvy dogs!" The pirate warlock moves forward next to Pirate 5 and uses Eldritch Blast, firing one ray at Ava and the other at Sir Lucian.
Oh, he got 2.
Yes, he's got 2. So here comes the first ray that hits Bobbit will...
Wait, I thought you said,
sorry,
Ava and...
Ava, yeah. Ava and Sir Lucian. So the first one will be... Let me roll his +7 to hit on his spellcasting. The first one, you see it coming, Ava, and he rolls a nat 1 on that. You feel the Eldritch energy singe the tips of your feathers as it goes over your head. The second one to Sir Lucian, that is a 3. The Eldritch Blast just bounces off the front of Sir Lucian's armor. At this point, the pirate captain uses his reaction and shouts, "Shape up, ye dog!" Whenever a friendly creature within 30 feet of the captain that can hear it misses an attack, the captain will yell perilous threats to allow that creature to re-roll the attack roll. And so the warlock fires his 2 rays again. This time hitting Ava, rolling a 13 plus 7. Ava, you take 9 points of force damage.
Okay.
And the second ray, fired at Sir Lucian, misses once again, bouncing off Sir Lucian's armor.
He tickles.
Pirate 5 attempts to leap from his ship to yours. He makes an acrobatics check, which he passes.
Aww.
He brandishes his rapier, and he attacks Zinhorn with it.
Oh. You leave him alone, he's new. It's his first day.
That is an 18 to hit Zinhorn.
Okay.
That hits.
So Zinhorn, you are taking 5 points of piercing damage. He then uses his second multi-attack to swing his rapier at Sir Lucian, and nat 1s. His rapier bouncing harmlessly off Sir Lucian's armor. It is Pirate 3's turn. He rolls an acrobatics check, leaps over onto your ship, rushes up to Bobbit and Ava, and first swings his rapier at Bobbit, and that will be a 10 to hit. Unfortunately, his rapier bounces off Bobbit's armor. He decides to go for a second multi-attack against Bobbit, and that is a 19 to hit. Bobbit, you take 12 points of piercing damage.
Ow!
Pirate number 1 mans the cannon on the side of his ship and fires a cannonball at Ava. Ava, I need you to make a dex or con save, please.
Hello all, I am back.
Hello, Bobbit.
Hey.
Hello, Bob.
That is a 29.
20, you duck as the cannonball sails over your head. Pirate 2, still groaning in pain, mans the cannon and fires it again at Ava. Ava, make a dex or a con save, please.
That is a 14.
14. You don't stop ducking, and you don't come out of hiding until you hear the splash of the cannonball landing in the water. Pirate number 4 rushes up, mans the third and final cannon, He aims it at Sir Lucian and fires. Sir Lucian, make a dex or con save, please.
Oh, ouch. Okay, I got an 8.
An 8.
I'm about to take a cannonball to the face.
The cannonball...
Is that the dex or con?
It wouldn't make any difference.
Fair deal.
Yep, the cannonball hits you. You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. It is now Sir Lucian's turn.
He probably looks a bit dazed, confused with his tongue poking it. Are we allowed to take control of, just for context here, can I use the armaments against the enemy?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I'm currently locked into combat now.
Yeah, you can use anything against them.
I probably might as well just engage Pirate 5 first.
Right, engage him, alright.
Yeah.
Roll to hit him.
Blade, just a longsword.
Yep, just a longsword,
okay.
alright. Roll to hit him.
That is a 3.
Okay, your first attack, he definitely deflects with his rapier, but you still have your extra attack, so you can roll again.
Oh, yes, that's true. Okay. That is a 16.
That is a hit. Roll for damage.
It's a D8, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, that is a 2 points of damage.
2 points of
Plus
damage.
strength?
You slash. Yeah, plus your strength. So altogether, that is 6 points of damage as you slash into his shirt. It is now Bulb's turn.
Okay, let me see the map. Okie dokie. So we've got pirates, a pirate warlock, pirate captain. What's the plan here? Just beat them off?
That seems to be what everyone's doing.
Lots of beating.
I haven't had turn yet.
How tall is the crow's nest?
About 10 feet.
Could I fly up to the top of the crow's nest?
Yep. So you fly up
Yep.
into the top of the crow's nest. Which would be here.
Yep. And then I'm going to cast Scorching Ray at the pirate warlock.
Ooh, good hit. Okay, go ahead.
And would that be with advantage because I'm now 10
It
feet
is
higher
with
than him?
advantage. Yep, you've got the high ground.
Okay, blue and red is 1 dice.
Silver pirates. He has the high ground.
Okay, so one of those is a 24, the other one is a 12.
The 12 does not hit, the 24 does.
Okay, and now I'm rolling for the third one, which is a 25.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 2. Let me just get up Scorching Ray, because I stupidly closed my internet when I left. Scorching Ray, it is, on a hit, is 2d6 fire damage.
2d6 fire damage, yep, go ahead, roll for that.
4d6. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11 damage.
11 damage. The warlock's robes burn, and she silently screams. It is now Veska's turn. Veska takes a step forward, and she casts a magic missile, sending them all into Pirate 2. Pirate 2 takes 16 points of damage, and he goes down with a scream. And it is now Bobbitt's turn.
Okay. Dumb question. What if I got Keeper to use fire breath on their actual ship, not anyone in particular, just the actual ship itself?
Well, their ship would catch on fire. Most
that would
likely.
be an idea.
But they're pirates, they might have booty. We're going to beat them off and plunder their booty.
Fine. Okay. In that case, fine. Okay, I see what we're going for here. If I go to try and shoot Pirate 3, would that be done with disadvantage because I'm right next to him?
Yes. But you can hit him with your Eldritch Blast with no disadvantage.
Suppose I can do that. Just hold my hand right up to his face and go, yay, boom. What's my to hit as well? I'm pretty sure it's plus 11 for it. Yep, that is a 16.
That's a hit. Roll for damage.
Woo! Face blast. Yay, 4 points of damage. I'm helping.
You just hold your face up to him and boom! He looks at you, his face singed, a look of anger on his face. Zinhorn, it is your turn.
Help? So, Zinhorn is going to invoke Primal Savagery on himself.
Yep.
Okay.
Growing out his fingernails.
Turning them into claws.
Turning them into claws. Ooh. And slicing at Pirate 5.
Yep, go ahead.
That's a new trick.
That is 18.
That's a hit. Roll for damage.
And that is... What is it? 2d10.
Oh, could have... Oh.
That is 11 points of acid damage.
Ooh, not bad at all. You slash him with your claws. Your acid burns into his clothing, and you can hear him curse in pain as the acid singes his skin. It is Ava's turn.
Me?
It is.
Okay. I will shoot. Can I shoot at the pirate warlock, please?
You sure can. Go
with
ahead
the
and...
arrows of...
Walloping?
Yeah.
Very well. Go ahead.
And that one.
You nat one. You knock an arrow of... You knock an arrow to your bow and you fire it and it just slams harmlessly into the hull of their ship. Do you want to take your extra attack?
Yeah, let's try that again.
Alright, go ahead. Same a walloping arrow again.
I'll try. I'm running out. That was much better. That's 16 plus 8.
That's a hit. Roll for damage.
Where... There it is. Okay. That is 9.
9 points of damage plus your d4.
Plus my d4.
Yep.
Whoop. That was a 4.
Ooh, not bad at all. And now
she's knocked on her ass.
Well, she has to do the roll first, to see if she... And as a pirate, her sea legs give her advantage on saving throws to resist being knocked prone. But it's okay. She rolled a nat 1 and an 8, so she's falling prone.
Damn.
She falls flat on her ass, landing sprawling on the deck of the ship. It is the enemy's turn. The pirate captain raises a rifle, points it at Bulb up in the crow's nest, and fires with disadvantage.
Say rifle, sir.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I should have had advantage, shouldn't I?
Yeah, but you... no, you're not that much higher than her.
Oh, I thought I was up in the...
But then you went to battle station, so you're not in the crow's nest.
Did I? I thought I stayed up in the thing. Okay.
Well, we'll give you advantage next time, and that is a 22 to hit with the rifle. I
usually hit anyway.
Jesus, a disadvantage, fucking Christ.
Yep. Because he rolled an 18 and a 19. He rolled an 18 and a 19. 18 was the lowest, so...
Yeah.
You take 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Rifle sounds interesting.
Okay. Right, you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back.
It is the pirate warlock's turn. She uses her movement to get out of being prone, and then she uses one of her invocations as a bonus action to levitate off the ground until she is level with Bulb. And then she casts Dissonant Whispers. You need to make a wisdom save, please, Bulb.
That I can do. Let's see which dice. That was a nat 1.
And wisdom's what you're good at. You take 11 points of psychic damage, and you are
I'm
frightened.
flying 30 feet away from her.
Yeah, you're flying 30 feet away from the warlock, so I will move you 30 feet. 5, 10, 15.
The good thing is,
20,
it's
25,
not scared
30.
or anything. It's just
You're just flying away to escape from the terrifying noise that bores into your ears.
And the good thing is, I'm a spellcaster.
Yes. Pirate
Distance is good.
Pirate 5 swings at Zinhorn with his rapier. And that's a 9. Zinhorn dodges out of the way. He then uses his second multi-attack to swing at Sir Lucian with his rapier. And that's a nat 20, unfortunately.
Oh,
He hits
no.
Sir Lucian, who takes 10 points of piercing damage.
This just hasn't been a fun ride for Solution.
It really hasn't. I think I'm nearly dead, actually.
Pirate number 3 swings his rapier at Veska. And he nat 20s on Veska,
Jesus.
hitting her for 14 points of piercing damage. And then with his second multi-attack, he swings his rapier at Ava. And that is a 19 to hit. Ava takes 11 points of piercing damage. Pirate number 1 makes an athletics check. He leaps over onto your ship. And he swings his rapier at Veska twice. The first one was a 7, so she dodged as it swings over her head. The second one was a nat 20.
Ah.
Wow, this is good.
Veska takes... Okay, I need to check Veska's HP.
Alright. There's wrestling
Veska...
stuff in the background.
Veska, where are you? Moon. There you are. Veska takes 12 points of damage, and she has 6 HP left.
Eat.
Pirate number 4 attempts an athletics check, but he misses his jump and he falls in the water.
Oh, thank God. Bye.
He sinks under the surface of the drink, and you do not see him. He sinks right into the surface of the drink and is swallowed up by the waves, apparently drowning rather quickly.
Oh no.
It is Bulb's turn. Actually, wait, it's Sir Lucian's turn, sorry.
Sir Lucian? Let Sir
Yep.
Lucian go first.
Okay. Alright, now it works. I'm going to... Can you tell me the state of Pirate 5 at the moment?
Pirate 5's looking a fair bit hurt.
Alright, I might just swing him with my longsword at the moment.
Yep, roll to hit him.
That is a 14.
That is a hit, plus your strength. Yep, that's a hit.
Beautiful.
Roll
so
your damage.
D10. That is a 1.
1 plus 4, that's still 5
God,
damage.
what the
And
fuck
you
is
still
up with
get
Lucian today?
You still get your extra attack, so go ahead and make your extra attack. And by the way, your sword's charges have restored, so...
Oh, that's right. I'll use it for the pirate man. Alright. And I missed the second one.
Yep, unfortunately you missed the second one. He deflects it with his rapier. Okay, it's Bulb's turn.
Bulb is going to raise his hands above his head, and dark clouds appear, and he calls Call Lightning.
Oh, damn.
Lightning. Ooh.
Oh dear.
Bob's done with
That
this.
sounds cool.
Oh, duck and pray.
Just getting it all up on... A storm cloud appears in the shape of a cylinder that is 10 feet tall and 60-foot radius, centered on a point you can see 100 feet directly above you. Range is 120 feet. Okay. I am going to call the first lightning strike to hit the pirate warlock.
Ooh.
And she must make a dexterity saving throw.
Let's see. She made a 10.
That is a failure.
You alright? So roll damage for her.
That is 3d10s of damage.
Ooh.
Jesus. That's, well, I mean, we're in ocean, we're at the sea, and you just throw a bolt of lightning at her ass, so yeah, no.
That is 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage. Ouch! The lightning strikes her, breaking her concentration on levitate, making her fall back down, and taking 4 points of bludgeoning damage as she lands in a heap on the deck of her ship.
Neat.
Best part is I can use my action next turn to do it again.
Yes, you can. Okay, it is Veska's turn. She uses her action to disengage, then runs over and hides behind Sir Lucian.
And I would like to use movement to fly down below the railing of the ship so that no one can see me.
Yep, so you hide here. Okay, it is Bobbitt's turn.
So looks at everyone going, wait, Bobbit knows how to defeat the pirates, she'll just use something that they're really scared of, and cast Tooth Tentacle, thinking that works similar to a kraken.
Nice.
So bonus action for that, and since I only have one pirate directly in front of me, he gets to get whipped 3 times with that.
Ooh, nice. Okay, so roll to hit him.
That's a non-nat 20 on the first.
That's a hit.
A 14 on the second.
That's a hit. Actually, 14 is not a hit, sorry.
And a 25 on the third.
So 2 out of 3 hits. Not bad.
Alright, I'll just roll 2d8s. 4, and that's going to be 11 piercing damage all up.
11 piercing damage, nice. And as you conjure the tentacles, Pirates 1 and 5 both look at it and scream and go, ah! Leap back over onto their own ship.
Okay, bye!
Pirate 5 drawing an attack of opportunity from both Sir Lucian and Zinhorn.
I meant that as a joke, but hey, I'll take that if you're going to give it.
It's the Kraken!
That is 16.
That's a hit.
And the D6 is 4 points of damage.
4 points of damage, nice. Sir Lucian, roll to hit him.
I'm looking. I got a nat 1.
Alright, yep, you don't hit him with your attack of opportunity. It is
Does anything else
now...
happen?
Nope.
Nothing else happens with M1.
It is now... Oh, wait. You see him coming past you. You see him running past you to jump back onto the ship, and you leap forward to swing at him, but your foot slips on a banana peel that you swear was not on the deck of the ship before, and you swear as you topple over, landing on your back, and then you hear an older female voice cackling. Ah, sirloin, you'll never learn.
Hey? You say sirloin?
Yep. And
I have many questions.
and now it is Zinhorn's turn.
How's your health, Solution?
Yeah, how much health you got left, Sir Lucian?
Oh, I think I'm down to about 10, possibly. I don't think I've counted the last round of attacks, but I'm down to 10.
Yeah, mate. And you haven't taken any damage the last round. So yeah, you got 10, so maybe you might need some healing.
I am going to do a 2nd level healing word.
Yep.
For Solution.
M2,
Very well.
are you currently eating?
Yeah.
That mug's really good.
It
That
is.
Yeah, it's
is-
fantastic. Picks up everything.
Yep.
8 points of healing for Solution.
Well, 18
Oh, you're a
is...
legend.
Yes, 18's better than nothing. Very well. Ava, your turn.
And can I just use my movement and jump on the other side of Veska?
Oh, yep, sure. Right here. Lovely.
Yeah.
Move up beside Veska. Ava, your turn.
Okay, well, seeing as I'm in hand-to-hand and didn't know it, that changes things. So
Yep.
I'm going to attack pirate number 3
Go ahead, roll
with my
to hit.
sword.
go ahead, roll to hit.
Alright, that's 19 plus 8.
That's definitely a hit. Roll for damage.
Oh, sorry, I just hit my mic. That is 8.
8. Not bad, not bad.
Plus the
your
D4.
4. Yep.
Which was 4.
Yep, so 12 altogether. Would you like to
And
hit him?
now...
If you're using your swords, you get 2 more attacks.
Yeah, that's what I was done. So now I'll do my offhand.
Offhand attack, go ahead.
That was 12 plus 7.
That's a 19, that's a hit.
Yep. That is 10.
10 points of damage, nice.
Yep,
He's looking
and-
quite a bit beaten up now, so go in for your final attack.
Yeah, last one. That is 19.
19, that's a hit. Roll for damage.
That is 11.
11. You leap forwards and stick your sword into his chest. He groans and gurgles as he dies on the end of your blade.
Take that.
It is the enemy's turn. The pirate captain steps forward. He raises his rifle and aims it towards Bobbit.
Eep.
And he nat 20s.
Eep.
Bobbit, you take...
Bobbit wants one of those friggin' rifles.
You take 24 points of piercing damage as he fires his rifle at you.
Okay, not great.
Meanwhile, the pirate warlock runs down, stands in the middle of her ship, and she casts... Actually, what she's going to do is she stands at the very edge of her ship, uses her invocation to levitate onto your own ship,
I need me one of those.
and then she stands in the middle of your ship under the main mast and casts Arms of Hadar.
Oh, books.
She invokes the power of Hadar, the dark hunger. Tendrils of dark energy erupt from her and batter all creatures within 10 feet of her. I need all of you to all of you except for, let me see, I think maybe Bulb? Nope, Bulb as well. I need everyone...
I said I was down below the railing, so I'd be down the side of the ship.
Yeah, but I
Did it
need...
still get me? So you should be...
Yeah, so everyone except Bulb needs to... Everyone except Bulb needs to make a strength save, please.
Oh, no. Shit, 5.
5.
17.
17.
18.
18, that's a pass.
Oh, we've been back
15.
world of shit.
15, okay. So everyone passed except for Bobbit.
Yay.
So Bobbit, you take 10 points of necrotic damage and can't take reactions until your next turn.
Well, I
everyone-
wouldn't worry so much about that second part because Bobbit's down.
Oh, Bobbit's down. Okay, make a death
Yep.
save, please, Bobbit.
15.
And everyone else takes 5 points of necrotic damage.
But that... Oh, Bobbit's getting out warlock. That's no fun.
Pirate 5 mans the cannon, and then Pirates 5 and 1 fire cannonballs at Ava and Zinhorn, respectively. Ava and Zinhorn, please make either a dex save or a con save.
28.
17.
17, and boom, boom! The cannonballs sail harmlessly over your heads. Okay, it is now Sir Lucian's turn.
Okay, I might be only able to swipe into... Oh, let me just zoom out for a second.
Go gut the warlock.
Okay. Oh, gosh, can I just charge blade at the pirate warlock?
Yep. Rah! You rush up, roll to hit her.
This guy's being an asshole. He needs to die. Alright. That is, you gotta be kidding me.
That is a...
That one.
Nat 1, okay. And as you run towards the pirate warlock, once again you feel that familiar banana peel and topple to the ground, and the voice says, "Actually, I'm quite concerned I may. Actually, I'm quite concerned I might cease to exist at the moment." And you still get an extra attack. So, would you like to go in with your extra attack?
Oh, please do. If I know one this, I swear to God, it's Dumb and Dumber. Oh my God, nat 20.
Yay!
Oh, wow.
Roll.
Oh, you basically just slip on the banana peel and just roll forward into the next attack.
Yep. So roll your damage, double
banana
it.
dripping down the side of his face like a smushed banana.
Roll your damage and double it, and then if you'd like to spend a charge of your sword, roll another D8 after you double the damage.
Alright. Oh, D8, not D10.
Yep.
Beautiful. Okay. That is a 3, and I'd like to expend one of my charges.
Yep, so 3 plus 4, that's 7, so 14. Okay, you expend a charge, go ahead.
Plus 7.
Plus 7, so 14 plus 7, 21 damage. You leap forwards, your sword glowing blue as magic charges through its blade, and you cut off the warlock's head.
A banana dripping down the side of the blade.
Yep. It is Veska's turn. She steps forward and fires a ray of frost at the pirate
Veska's
captain.
turn after solution?
Oh wait, no, it's bulbs. Yes, sorry, bulbs.
I fly up to the railing so that I can see the other ship.
Yep.
And I cast a lightning strike right here.
Yep, to strike pirates 5 and 1.
Yep, both of them must make dexterity saving throws.
Yep, let us see how they do. And that is going to be a 13 and a 22.
Okay, so the 13 fails, the 22 passes.
Yep.
Okay, so full damage is 17.
17 and 17 and we'll take 8 for pirate. So pirate 5 takes 8, pirate 1 takes 17 as the lightning strikes them, surging out from the black cloud.
And as a bonus action, I will cast Healing Word on Bobbit.
Yep.
Which is... Fuck, I need so many... Healing Word. 1d4 plus spellcasting. So it's not going to be major, but it will get you back up, Bobbit.
It will.
That's 5 health.
5 health, better than nothing.
Yep.
It is Veska's turn. She takes a step forward, moves to the edge
And
of the
I fly
ship.
back down again.
Yep, you fly back down to where you were, hiding behind the railing of the ship. Veska raises her hands and fires a ray of frost at the pirate captain. She nat 20s, and he takes 20 points of damage, and his movement speed is halved. He shouts, "I'll get you, Missy!" It is now Bobbit's turn.
Well, Bobbit's kind of bummed that her tentacles had to go away with that first attack, because obviously going down I lost that. So where are we at the moment? All the enemies are on the other ship. Oh, bugger it. Bobbit's going to get get Keeper to fire breath on pirates 5 and 1.
Alright, so Keeper flies over, roars, hovers between the two ships, unleashes a fire breath on pirates 5 and 1. I will roll their dex saves. That's gonna be a 13 and a 7.
I don't believe that either of those passed. I believe the DC was 15.
Yep. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Big whammies. That's going to be 16 points of fire damage. Just blast that entire portion of the ship.
16 points of fire damage. Pirate 5, screaming in pain, runs and topples over the side of his ship into the drink. Pirate 1 brushes away the flames and looks at Keeper, his clothing and his skin singed. And luckily, somehow, the ship itself does not appear to have caught on fire from Keeper's fire breath.
Oh. Well. Boo.
because I rolled for it and it didn't happen. So, it is now Zinhorn's turn.
So can I just get a clarification? If I was to use like Healing Word as a bonus action, can I use other spells in the same turn? Or
Yes, you can. You can, as long as they also don't. Well, you can do a bonus action as a normal action. So yeah, if you cast it as a bonus action, you can cast another spell. Yes.
Okay, cool. I am going to. So Bobbitt's still quite hurt.
Yep.
Really? Yes.
So I'm going to Healing Word first level. First of all, as bonus action, which is 6 points of health.
I'll take that.
Bobbit will definitely take that.
And I'm going to try another ice knife at
the captain.
At the captain.
Very well. Go ahead. Let me see. Ice knife. Yep. Make a ranged spell attack against him.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. Oh, lovely. So roll your d10 and double it.
1d10. That is a 5, so it's 10 points of damage.
You fling your ice knife right at him and bury it in his rib cage. He gurgles and falls over dead.
Yay.
It is now Ava's turn.
I hit it.
You're gonna go hit Pirate 1?
Yeah, that's all that's left.
Alright, you're gonna fly over to hit him with your
Actually,
sword?
no, fuck it, I'll just shoot him.
Alright, go ahead. Roll to hit him.
It's not worth jumping over for, or flying over for. Actually, no, I kind of want to fly over.
I was going to say, do you want this stuff?
Yes.
I'll fly over and I'll smack him.
Fly over, brandishing your sword, and go for it.
That is 16.
16, that's a hit. Roll for damage.
10.
10, that's a good hit. Plus your d4.
Well, that's a 2.
Now your next attack.
That is 18 plus 7.
That's definitely a hit.
Math. Alright. That is 10.
10, another good hit. And your final attack.
Yeah. That is 12 plus 8. So 20. So non-nat 20.
Yep, that's a hit. Roll for damage.
That is 11.
11. He raises his sword in the air as if he's trying to deflect you, but you swoop down and bury both of your blades in his chest, killing him.
Deadsies!
And so the pirates are defeated, and their ship crawls to a stop, just drifting out in the open ocean.
So, stuff now?
Do we have a ship now?
Can we take their ship?
So, Captain Barnabas comes up from below deck, and he sees the dead pirates and the pirate ship just drifting, and he claps his hands. He says, "Well, Lady Silverhand wasn't lying when she said you were bona fide heroes. Congratulations!" He says, "You saved our hides, lads and lass."
You are.
Hooray!
He says, "Now," he says, "much as I'd like to commandeer that beauty, there's a bounty on sinking pirate ships that I want to claim. And so, if we plunder her and loot her, we'll get well paid when we get to shore."
What is the bounty?
That sounds like a plan to me.
Honestly, that sounds like the best plan we got. Just take all the money and then burn the ship. We win either way.
Very well.
How much is the bounty for sinking ships?
He looks at the ship and he says, we'll cut down her flag, and then taking a look. A big brigandine like that should get us at least 1,000 gold altogether.
Bulb has business idea.
Yes.
Bulb will pay him the bounty, and we take the ship to the new land and we sell it.
Oh.
Or hire it out for bonus income.
I like this. I like this a lot. I'm honestly jealous I didn't think of that myself. That is awesome.
Very well, Bulb. Please make a persuasion check.
Can Bobbit help, please?
Yes, Bobbit can help. Because Bobbit's probably going, please, 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 I want a ship.
I want a ship and Bobbit her deal.
The Royal Land of Scotland needs its official mascot ship.
Damn straight, bitch.
Son of a fucking bitch!
Did you nat 20?
No, I got a 2 and a 4.
Oh.
Which makes it a 1 and a 3. I used my inspiration.
Can Bobbit use hers to...
Bobbit, if you would like to spend one of your inspirations so that Bulb may re-roll, go ahead.
If I do this, you can't fuck this up. So go ahead.
That was a nat 20.
Thank you. That's what we like to hear. We want goddamn
the
ship.
rat in his bones.
Captain Barnabas.
He's worked around me long enough to know when I'm not bluffing.
That one was actually a nat 20.
Good.
Captain Barnabas listens as you excitedly explain your plan. And he says, well, I can't see anything wrong with that. You give me 1,000 gold, I'll share it amongst the crew. And I'll tell you what, I don't suppose any of yous know how to sail a ship.
That would be a negative for Bulb.
He says...
Yeah, did not think that through.
He says, throw in another, throw in another 200 gold pieces, and I'll release a couple of me crew members into your service.
No problem.
Yay! I mean, I'm happy to throw in the extra 200, but if someone else wants to throw it in as well.
I'll do it.
Okay, so I only take off 1,000 and you take off 200, so that works.
Yeah.
It's a good day.
I'm still at 10,000 gold. This was a well-done investment.
I'm still at 13,000.
Captain Barnabas shakes hands on the deal, and then he says, oi, you there! Frederick, Robert, and Jacob, get your asses down here! You're working for the heroes now. They look over at the old pirate ship and they say, and their mouths fall open. He says, yep, that's right, you get to work on a brigandine, just like you always wanted. Then he looks at Sir Lucian and he says, and you, Sir Lucian. Well, big brigandines like that, they usually got 2 bedrooms.
Yeah, look at that. We got you an upgrade, buddy.
Yeah.
And so with that, spend the rest of the day relocating onto the pirate ship, tasking your crew members, Frederick, Robert, and Jacob, with their new assignments, and settling down in the new ship. Bobbit, of course, takes up residence in the pirate captain's quarters.
Oh, of course, she's the queen.
Which takes up the majority of the below deck space. However, there is a...
And I guess me being the queen's guard.
Yeah, I mean, only makes sense that you'd get the next best room.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you see the second smaller bedroom, which was for the first mate, and as Sir Lucian reaches towards the doorknob to open it, Ava pushes forwards, opens the door, and says, Queen's Guard only.
Oh, I'm just kidding. He can take it.
Yeah, you
Ava
just
doesn't mind.
you just notice the look on his face and laugh, and then you sigh.
I'm just teasing.
So loose.
Also,
Yep.
can we look for loot?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah.
Bobbit wants a rifle.
I will ask. Two of you to do investigation checks.
Okay, investigation, not my best suit.
Oh,
so.
Bobbit.
Mine's a +3. What's Bobbit's?
+4.
Oh,
So
Bobbit
Ava
it is.
Well, there's two
Oh,
two
it was
people
plus-
doing it,
All
so
the headband got involved.
Yep. So Ava and Bobbit. Okay, I'd like you to do an investigation.
Nat
check,
20.
please.
So
Nat 20.
24.
And how did Ava go?
I got 18 +3. Yeah, +3.
Okay.
Yeah.
After you've all settled down in the ship, Sir Lucian has claimed this first mate's bedroom, plopped down on the bed and claimed it as his own. Ava and Bobbit and everyone else start doing a thorough search of the ship, and you find the following in terms of loot. Bobbit, from the ship's captain, a rifle and 4 incendiary rounds.
Oh, yes,
Alright.
please.
Alright.
Bobbit gets really excited for half a second and goes, wait, that means Bobbit didn't come up with it first. Ah!
From the pirates
That
themselves,
feel though.
5 suits of studded leather and 5 rapiers, all of them in decent condition. And within the ship's hold itself, you find enough provisions to last the journey back to Chult and some magic items of interest. So, Ava, I will ask you to please roll 2 d20s, please.
Okie dokie.
This was a good idea.
That was a 6
A 6 and
and a 4.
a 4. Very well. You find, first of all, squirreled away in the corner of the cargo hold, a small piece of what appears to be bark, like taken off the trunk of a tree.
Huh?
And
Okay.
second of all, you find a small silver armband.
Okay. Bobbit, come find out what these are, please.
Just a random yell from the captain's quarters. Why?
Come identify!
Can identify? Okay, Bobbit,
That's
make an Arcana
21.
check, please.
I have to do 1 or 2.
2, please.
One was a 21, and the other one is a 13.
So
I
you
help him do the bark.
yep, because you probably know what it is. So you identify the wood as a piece of Cheveran birch. It is a piece of imbued wood that, when it is used as a spellcasting focus, will give you a +1 bonus to any force damage roll from your spells.
Oh.
It is common,
that's
but it
good.
requires attunement.
Oh, I don't have achievement goddamn slots. That would have been great for friggin'
The
Eldritch
silver
Blast.
The silver armband is a resistant armband. It is a common magical item, and what it will do is you will nominate one type of damage, and once per long rest, it will grant you resistance to 1 instance of damage of that type.
Oh,
Damn.
Nice.
that's great even for late game.
Yeah.
It'll only do it
wow.
once. So say you
Still.
I nominate fire, then when you
You get 1
first-
free fire
yeah,
resistance.
the first time you get hit with fire that day, you will get resistance on it, and then you can't use it again till the long rest.
Interesting.
Still bloody
Still.
good, just say in case we come up against, like, say it was Imrith, like,
Yeah,
avoid
exactly.
get half her lightning damage would have been.
Yeah. And
Jesus.
when you attune to it, you must choose the type of damage.
Okay, so we have to choose it right then and
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Ah,
So
It is only a
basically,
common
like,
item.
if we knew we were going against something.
Yeah.
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 However, you can unattune to it and then attune to it again to change the damage type,
Hold on.
if you need to.
Hmm.
Now, Bobbit, I'd like you to roll 2 d20s, please.
Wait,
Yes,
who's
sir.
gonna get the armband?
Yeah, who's going to get the armband, actually?
I'm
Oh.
currently out of attunement slots, so it won't be me. Otherwise, I would have been beating up people for that friggin' bark.
Yeah.
Bulb is out of attunement slots at the moment.
I'll
so,
take it.
Unless,
Yep.
yeah.
Wait,
Unless
do you
Ava or
have
Zinhorn want it?
I was going to say, do you have force damage to spells?
So,
No.
Or Smithy Cat if you want it. Do you want
Well-
it?
so force damage, is that... I don't think I've got any force damage ones.
No,
I
so
can
you
take
don't
it
want
for
the
now.
wood. So you don't want the wood.
I can take it for now
Yeah,
and just
and-
hold on to it until I free up a slot.
Well,
'cause
Bobbit, you can actually, with some work, imbue this wood into your staff, like Bulb has.
Ooh. Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, except you'd be doing it more of an artificer way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it
Instead of
still
me
works.
doing it. No,
Hey,
it
man.
still works. Still works.
So Ava
Yeah.
gets the resistant amulet then, and Bobbit, I'd like you to roll 2 d20s, please, and add them together
I'll add them together, okay. So,
for the uncommon
go.
item.
Okay, ooh, yay. Just writing magic bark in my thing, so I don't forget that it's there.
And I'm not attuning to it yet. I'm just
No.
trying.
11 and 12, that's 23, I believe.
23. Oh, well, you'll like this then.
Oh,
Okay. You
And?
find in the cargo hold a breastplate looking much like your own, but made out of shimmering scales.
okay, I'll get the Arcana roll going.
Yep.
Normal thing. Plus 7, that is 21. Gimme.
Okay. This uncommon item, which requires attunement, is a serpent scale breastplate. This breastplate is made from shimmering scales. While wearing it, you can apply your full dex modifier instead of just a maximum of 2 when determining your armor class.
Oh, I have to unattune something now, because that is fantastic.
That's true, but at the same time, does Zinhorn have any?
I have nothing attuned at the moment.
And also, are you?
Wear that?
Can you wear
Are you a-
medium armor?
Oh, hold on. Is it metal?
No, it's serpent scale.
Oh.
I have light armor, medium armor, and shields.
Ooh,
Oh, you
so
can-
maybe this
oh.
might be...
Actually, yeah.
And if
That might
Zinhorn
actually
is
be really
a
good for him.
frontliner,
Yeah.
Alright, well, I will, in this case, I
Right.
will pass that up.
So this is for
Welcome to
Zinhorn.
welcome to
Yep.
the group. Have some magic items.
So Zinhorn, you get a serpent scale armor. It's a breastplate, so your AC will be 14 plus your dex mod while wearing this.
what is your dex mod, by the way?
My dex mod.
Yeah.
As in, like, I've got 15 for dex, so plus 2.
Yes, a plus 2. So while wearing this, your AC will be 16.
Solid.
Mm.
What was your
Oh.
AC to begin with?
My AC was 15, but that's with a shield.
Ah, so now it's
Oh,
so now it's 18.
Damn.
So
Yeah,
16
well done.
plus 18
Jeez.
from your shield, yeah, so 18.
Alright.
Mm.
Plus,
Ah,
if your
hell.
dex goes higher, this breastplate, unlike most medium armor, does not cap out at 2 dex. So,
Ooh.
yeah, if your dex
Yeah.
goes to plus 3, that will make your AC go up.
Nice.
And so,
I wanted to look at the studded leather armor.
Yep, the studded leather armor. I'd like you to make an investigation check.
That is 16.
This leather armor is in remarkably good condition, and you recognize that it's actually masterwork armor, which means it would fetch a nice price, but it might even be better than what you're wearing already.
Well, yeah, I'm only wearing regular leather armor.
Yeah, so if you put this on, you will gain resistance to critical hits 1 time per encounter.
Okay.
Is this all the armor or just one set?
All of the sets appear to be masterwork.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Bulb may take a set as well.
Very well. So
And get it tailored
Yep.
to
so
an
what
our
size.
size.
Yep. So you have to wait till you get to Chult to
Yep.
actually put it on. But so
Yep.
what it will do is it gives you resistance against critical hits 1 time per encounter. So like the first critical hit that's dealt against you, you just take normal damage, and then any others that fight will work as normal.
Yep.
Alright.
So it's
Okay.
Masterwork studded leather armor.
Yes.
Alright, do you want me to keep the other, I think we had 2 more? Do you want me to hold that in the
And what's
bag?
the
for
AC
future time?
on that?
On leather armor, the AC...
On the studded leather
Yep.
armor?
Studded leather armor, the AC is 12 plus your dex mod.
Alright.
And Bobbit, if you are running out of spaces, I can take 1 or 2
I
of them
do
to
have
store.
to, I do have to actually, I
So
will want to sit
mine
there and
is-
calculate this.
16 now.
Yep.
Do you have like something that says about the special armor?
Yes, I will post that I'll just grab that for you.
Thank you.
Serpent.
Bobbit, if you want me to just take them for now, because I've already got mine all set up, I can.
Yeah, you can hold on to them if you want.
And was it 2 more, was it?
Yeah, we got 2 more. I believe we got 4 all up.
Yep. Well,
Yeah,
5
cool.
5 sets
Oh,
altogether.
sorry, there are 3
So
more.
it's another 3. Okay, well, I've got the
Yeah.
room for now, so that works out fine.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, good thing you didn't burn this ship down.
Yay! I mean, it was an option. It was always going to be an option.
Find it oddly fitting that Smithy gets the snake scale armor.
Actually, yeah, that's actually the best help. It's good. I like
So-
that.
Smithy, here it is in Milo's lucky dice, and yours is a breastplate.
That is cool.
So, you guys finish divvying up the supplies, and then you bid farewell to Captain Barnabas, and you watch as his small sloop cuts through the waves and begins to return to Waterdeep. And slowly his white sails disappear over the horizon as the sun sets.
Oh, man, we need a flag for our ship.
You make sure to cut down the pirate flag so that you can prove the bounty of this ship. And
We should have given it to him.
as
Oh.
as you settle down that night as the sun begins to set and you eat your meal, you decide what would you like to call your ship?
Oh,
My.
it took us this long to name the bloody inn.
Dirty Boatface.
No.
Both face.
Tempting,
Just
but
good fortune.
Ooh, I like that one.
good fortune.
Yeah, it's
The
good
banana boat.
fortune.
I said gust of
Oh,
good
gust
fortune.
of good fortune.
Gust.
But
I mean,
good
I think
fortune-
just the good fortune is a good name for it,
True, that too.
considering what you found on board.
Yeah, and hopefully it brings us a fortune when we rent it out.
Yeah, I can live with all of this deal.
That being said, the people we rent it out to could be dicks and get it sunk. So
Yeah. Well,
I will have to look into insurance.
you decide to christen this ill-gotten pirate ship the Good Fortune. Oh, and yes, Smithy. Your gold. You will have 200 gold to start. I'll say.
Let's say it's not ill-gotten.
Yeah. Well,
was
it was by the
liberated.
pirates. It was liberated from the pirates.
Liberated. Isn't that what the kids say nowadays?
And so, all of you except for Zinhorn and Sir Lucian get short rests. Reva and Zinhorn get short rests.
Reva?
Ava.
Reva.
Sorry, so many new characters today. Ava and Zinhorn get long rests because you passed your con saves at the start of the voyage. Everyone else, you get only a short rest as
shit, I got fuck all health.
as you find that the journey, despite it having gone for over 20 days by this point, you still haven't grown that accustomed to the rhythm of the sea, and find yourselves at night sleeping quite restlessly.
Okay. So I'm guessing you rolled for me, did you?
Yeah, I did, and you failed. You only
Okay,
got
no,
a
yeah,
12
that's
on
fine.
your con save,
Yep.
unfortunately. So,
Was that
After-
adding the +2?
and
Okay.
it was, yeah.
Yep,
Well,
yep,
yeah, it was
yep.
10 plus 2, so 12, yeah.
Yeah.
So, those of you who had short rests, feel free to spend your hit dice to recover from that battle.
Ooh, actually,
Yes.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
And I can change spells, can't I, during a short rest?
You can.
Yep, cool.
Mm.
D8. D8. 2d8 to start off with. We add con, don't we?
Yes, you do.
That's 6, so that's 10, so I'm at 29.
Oh, God, it's still over.
Oh, sorry.
No, I got this. I'm pretty much going to be burning all of my hit dice to try and
You'll
pull my
get 'em
way
back.
up anyway.
That's good enough. And I've taken a spell that will help us make time.
Yes.
I think. I need to look up the wording of it. Oh, Wikidot.
40. Yep, I'll do it. I'm back to fight. I had to spend all 5, but I am back to full. It's
Go
just
back to full. That's okay. And so your voyage continues. The next 5 or 6 days are just as uneventful as the journey up to this point, despite the fact that you're on a bigger, much more, or some would say luxurious ship. You find yourselves growing just as bored as you were in the 10 days, in the 10 days past. Until finally, on the 26th day, you come out above deck after your meager breakfast and hear one of the crew members, the one you think is called Jacob, shout, "Lad ahoy! Lad sighted!" And sure enough, there, on the horizon, you could see it. A speck of greenery. The shore of Chult. You've entered the Bay of Chult. And this day, perhaps, will be your final day on the sea. I'm going to play appropriate music.
Oh, and just quickly before we say that, all the shrubs would have been on board as well.
Of course, I know they were on board.
Yep.
Dude,
Just wanted to make sure.
dude, like we don't even need to be in the sunlight to rock our world, dude.
Jesus Christ.
I was just saying, Boat's been keeping like Keeper and Duncan below deck whenever we're not using them, just to keep the seawater off them.
And
Ooh,
so,
so
on this, the 26th day of your voyage, sail through the Bay of Chult towards the distant jungled shore. The sea ahead roils and churns, and waves crash over the bow of your ship, driven by saw-toothed hills rising from the heaving foam. Water streams off the rising crags like rivers crashing down a mountainside. At last, the emerging island stops growing in size, although the sea around still tosses your ship like a drifting feather. Then, a huge blast of steam erupts from the waves, and through the drifting rainbow-crossed mist, you see an immense beak and a milky eye the size of a hogshead cask staring blindly in your direction. As the water calms, You also spot a dozen or more shark fins circling your ship. Robert, one of the crew members, whispers under his breath, "Dragon turtle."
It's a turtle.
Oh dear. Hooray! And oh dear.
Can I do a nature check to see if I know anything about dragon turtles?
Me
Yes,
too.
you may. You may.
Would Bobbit know anything
Can I
about
give him
these?
advantage?
Yeah, you may do it with advantage, Ava.
Would Bobbit remember anything about these?
Yeah, Bobbit will. I'll do Bobbit's in a sec.
Yep.
Missy, get them. Okay. Ow! Was it me doing it with advantage or Ava?
Ava doing it with advantage with you.
Okay.
Oh,
And
well,
Bobbit-
I got a 16 plus
And
5, so I got a
Bobbit,
21.
you may do a
Help me.
history check, please, with advantage.
Alright,
You
I'm
are-
not sure if Chult saves.
Hang on. History. Ooh, actually, that's pretty decent. 15 plus 4 is 19.
Okay, so Bulb and Ava, you know what a dragon turtle is. At least you've heard of them in your studies of nature, and Zinhorn would have as well. Dragon turtles are aquatic creatures closely related to dragons. They are considered among the most dangerous aquatic creatures in existence, right up there with krakens, and are even worshipped by some religious groups. Essentially, it's a fully grown dragon that lives in the sea and often extorts treasure from ships that pass through its domain. Bobbit, you remember hearing about this dragon back when you saw the exhibit in the Temple of Gond in the House of Inspiring Hands. You remember reading of the dragon turtle Aramag, who guards the Bay of Chult, requesting treasure from anyone who would pass through, whether they be coming from Chult itself or across the ocean from Faerun.
The ultimate shiny hunter.
Aramag, now fully having risen from the roiling waves, stares at your ship, and then he begins to slowly circle around your ship. You almost continually circle the deck of your ship to maintain face-to-face contact with the creature, wondering what he's doing as he silently moves around your ship, circling it, just watching you, saying nothing, as the shark fins follow him, circling your ship and ready to eat anyone who jumps overboard. This continues on for about 10 tense minutes, all of you just rotating, swiveling on the deck to keep the dragon turtle's face in view. The dragon turtle and the sharks just slowly swimming around your vessel. Eventually, this circling creates an eddy that causes your ship to revolve on its own at a rate matching Aramag's motion. And with that, he simply stops, standing in front of you in the ocean, watching your ship as it slowly turns of its own accord in the eddy that has formed below in the ocean. It's obvious to everyone present that the dragon turtle could easily sink your vessel. All he would have to do is pitch you into the eddy. He stares at your ship with his bright, yellow, glowing eyes, and then he opens his mouth, and, in Draconic, he barks, "Tribute! You must grant tribute to pass. Tribute or your lives."
He wants tribute or our lives. People. What do we think he might, accept?
He wants shiny. He likes shiny things, right?
You can ask him.
Yeah, I could.
Am I
yeah.
basically the translator here?
Yeah.
I mean, I
Unless
have
anyone
comprehend
else
languages.
speaks Draconic.
Ooh, I mean, I can cast comprehend languages so I can at least understand him.
Well, you're translating just like I do with the dwarven stuff.
Yeah, with the dwarven.
You translate. We'll just yell stuff back.
I call back in Draconic. What is an acceptable tribute?
Aramag watches silently. You see his large, beaked mouth turn into something of a smile as he watches your ship beginning to revolve slightly faster within the eddy. And then he says, "Gold or magic?"
How much gold?
He doesn't answer.
Well,
As you
Translator.
wait for him to
I tell
answer,
you that he doesn't answer.
as you wait to see what he
You have
does
to tell him what I
next,
said.
Jacob, Robert, and Frederick come up behind you from below deck, carrying a large Hessian sack between them. They
Yeah.
place it down on the deck in front of you, and then Jacob says, "Captain, milady, we must give an offering to the dragon turtle, or he will pitch us into the waves."
Wait, which one of us is the captain?
You.
No.
You're the queen.
Sweet, done. Gotcha. Sorry, making sure I followed what was going on here. Neat, Captain Queen. Works for me. Okay, wait. Why did you get that?
You're the captain, it's my ship.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
You're the captain though. I'm just putting it out.
Fine. Let's just have an adventure.
You notice as the 3 crew members begin to empty out their pockets into the Hessian sack, dispelling almost all of the 200 gold that their previous captain gave them to come into your service.
So, obviously, a decent amount of money then.
I ask the 3, do we have to fill the sack?
They look back at you and they say, "We've only been through here once. Captain Barnabas would give a sack full of minor magical items, and that was usually enough."
Right. Okay, then. I put 2 diamonds into the sack.
Yep. Anyone else?
I'll put 1,000 gold in.
1,000 gold.
I have a freaking pile of blue quartz gems. Would that work, or do you want
You
more
can
than
put
that?
them in if you want.
Yeah, I'll put the 32 blue quartz gems in there.
Alright, so Lucian, would you like to put anything into the sack? So Lucian reaches into his pocket and pulls out his purse, depositing a small handful of coins. You stand back. Aramag looks down, peering at the Hessian sack on the deck. Your ship begins to revolve even faster as Aramag roars, "More!"
Oh dear. So obviously, we
I
need to go-
cast Legend Law and ask the Stone of Galore what if it knows what the minimum acceptance is.
The stone thinks and it says, Aramag. Usually, he demands what he thinks a ship can offer. Usually, his asking price being dependent on the size or renown of the ship in question.
Ah, crap. We shot ourselves in the foot with this deal. Oh no!
I hold up the stone and say in Draconic, is this acceptable?
Oh, wow.
Aramag roars, "Put it in the sack!"
I'm going to assume...
I unattune to the Stone of Galore.
Okay. Let me see if that does anything.
I was going to say, you always see the stone going, "Yes, I'm glad to help you with this." Wait, what are you doing?
Yes. You unattune to the Stone of Galore, and suddenly you find yourself holding this strange stone. your last memory of it being taking
Don't
it
I have to do
up.
a wisdom check?
You do. Yeah, go ahead, make a wisdom save.
That's a 15.
A 15, yeah. As soon as you
Still far?
remove the Stone of Galore from around your neck, you feel woozy as if you've just woken up from a nap, and you see this strange stone in your hand. You recognize it as the Stone of Galore, and you remember enough to recognize that previously you were wearing it, but all of that time is a blur to you. You can remember the Vault of Dragons, you can remember the Dragon Heist itself, and all of the time between then and now, but all memories involving this stone seemingly vanish from your mind. Aramag roars again. Drop it in the sack!
I drop it in the sack.
More! He roars.
You son of a bitch!
Okay, we just want to put in just like a crap load of money and call it a day.
I deposit another 1,000 gold.
As you place another 1,000 gold into the bag, Aramag smiles, and then he says, "Hoist it over!"
Yep.
Yep.
You all gather around the big sack, hoist it up between you, and toss it over the side of the ship. It lands on Aramag's craggy back. Then, saying nothing more, the dragon turtle submerges into the roiling eddy, causing your ship to pitch and roll violently until the sea calms down. You watch until the enormous disc of his shell swims further into the clear water of the bay until it disappears in the lightless depths. The eddy calms until your ship is left drifting in the middle of the Bay of Chult. So I just want to point out that Aramag's price that he requests is 2d4 times 500 GP, and he had requested exactly 2,000 GP.
Oh.
Gave me
Wow.
the fucking stone for nothing!
Oh dear.
Am I still... I've lost the positive and negative...
Yeah, you've lost
Thing,
those
haven't I?
traits. And if you were still in the sloop, it would have been 2d4 times 50.
I regret nothing.
I
Yeah.
regret nothing. There is still the potential for profit to be made here.
There is.
Yeah, long term rather than short term.
And
Yes.
so,
Hey,
With
at least
that-
we didn't have to fight it.
yeah.
That's a positive.
With your crew members still shivering, terrified from this ordeal, you all sigh, catch your breath, and then you get back to work, guiding the ship back onto course and towards the land of Chult, just on the horizon. And that ends today's session. I was gonna get you to arrive in Chult and do the dinosaur race and everything, but that's all the role playing and stuff that we did this week dragged it out, and I'm pretty sure like the dinosaur race and stuff, you'll want an entire session devoted to it.
I will continue to say I regret nothing with my actions today.
Yep. So, you each gain one point of one inspiration dice.
Yokes.
And you do not level up. You'll level up next week.
Ooh.
But you gain one inspiration dice as you have successfully made the arduous voyage from the Sword Coast to the jungled land of Chult. And thus begins Tomb of Annihilation. What dangers await in Chult? Will our heroes find the Soulmonger and end the death curse? And what of Bobbitt's mysterious memories? Ava's Aarakocra tribe? Bulb's legion of kobolds? And the propagation of the Emerald Enclave that has been placed into Zinhorn's hand. Catch us next week and join us. This journey is just beginning. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Tomorrow, M2 and I will be streaming some Resident Evil 2. Otherwise, join us next week for some more D&D, Fellowship of Steel, as we begin Tomb of Annihilation and set foot on Chult for the first time. So
the episode featured the Fellowship of Steel, but we are not affiliated with that lot.
yes,
They're off having their own problems right now.
doing your own thing. And so, until next time, when you sail across to Chult, make sure you don't overspend on the dragon turtle.
Oh,
Until then, goodbye everyone.